Over.
Just about finished. Actually, moving his head.
Okay, so welcome to our next session, which is session number 126, and the microphone can hear everyone talking. So if we talk over people, it will literally make the conversation very hard to hear. Would also help if I had my other microphone here so it could pick me up. That's the whole point of that microphone, is so if we do have multiple people talking, they should have a chance to hear me in the recording. Okay, so we're up to session number 126, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 12. So you're coming 12 sessions into the new storyline. Unlike the 126 sessions into the actual play, which is about 450 sessions into the overall storyline.
Okay.
Well, it is split over 3 games.
So you directly in the game.
Well, they were told it can go for quite a long time if they continue playing. It only ends when there's no one to play.
It's okay, I came in like session 47 or something like that.
And amusingly enough, your other character has managed to play longer.
Yes.
So, it is the 15th day of the 5th month of the year, which is I think that is the 2nd month of spring, or 3rd month. Sorry, just having to remember all those different things, because it is important, because heat can get intense, and the cold can get intense. So knowing what season you're in does make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. I can actually click on the right thing, that would help. Okay, so month, that is the last month of spring, so things will be starting to heat up as the rains will be disappearing. So it doesn't rain as much in summer. Now that the storms have started again, and crops are growing, and the sun follows a normal path across the sky.
Which it hasn't been until recently.
We're only partially responsible for that.
Well, sometimes it would come and then it would go back the other way because it felt like it.
Yeah. You fixed it though.
No, the other team fixed it.
Mm.
We started it.
PC's fixed it.
Yes. And on this day, it is basically a day of many births, and it's considered a birthday for many cultures. So those who don't know their birthday generally claim that day as their birthday, no matter when they're born in the year.
Like dogs are traditionally 1st of January.
It does make it a lot easier to give gifts to people. One day a year to remember to give people stuff. Just as it's an expensive day if you've got a lot of gifts to give.
Yeah.
What's your gift? I showed up.
Sometimes that's the best gift of all.
My present is your present.
That's what Paul says. Yeah.
And in the storyline, they have been. They travelled to the Isle of Dread to fulfill the prophecy they were given after learning how dangerous prophecies are.
Yes.
because an unfulfilled prophecy will wipe people from existence.
Yeah, that sounds healthy.
Well, it can also take those near them as well. There's a lot of collateral damage when time people go to fix things. And having learned that Russell's one of those who fixes things, but he breaks so much more. He's learning. Thank you.
Do you want anything more than that for now?
Not straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went to the Isle of Dread. They managed to get the title of Lani Undying actually dedicated. The good and the bad of that.
Yeah.
And I will go through character introductions with Jeremy online. We can do you next.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Black Nimmer, the Atruaghin tribesman who started out on this adventure somewhat close to where we're coming out right now. But when he started out a local watchman looking after a couple of younglings that have been sent out into the world. Unfortunately, the younglings did not survive, but he did, and came back too old for the tribe, so got sent away from the tribe, but later on was touched by Atruaghin himself, and has gone through some other changes in his time, having been blessed by Atruaghin, and the Dragon God Great One, to become chieftain of the Dragon clan, and then chief of chiefs of the Atruaghin clans, and also taking up the position, becoming a half dragon, dragon shapeshifter, to better connect with all of his potential subjects, or not subjects is probably the wrong word, but okay, tribe folk.
You've become one of us. That's
So-
better.
He's become a living legend amongst the Dragonborn and the Atruaghin people. Because he's technically the one who will fix everything for them. Except they don't know exactly what he's fixing or why.
Yes, but we'll tell them what it is afterwards.
He's gonna fix it.
But of course he's going to fix it. Whatever he's done, he was meant to do. If he dies, it's meant to be.
Part of which traditionally will be lead the Atruaghin clans on a war raging across the claim areas out of the plateau. And that might just be the rest of the race's fears of the concept of a clan chief and chiefs. I'll be based on history, but hey, I'm sure not necessarily valid.
Exactly.
Next up we have is Ariadna.
She wants to know which is her camera.
We can do that one.
Yeah.
We'll just drop this out of the way because we don't need that there anymore.
This is Calcrix, the white dragon with the jazz wings. Not that I can do them one-handed. She is technically a white, large dragon. Just ignore the black scales. They're not there. Got nothing to do with the Queen of Darkness. No, nobody's going to end up being led to doom.
Don't ask, you won't find out.
There's no blue scales either. Got nothing to do with Bahamut, the undead. Oh no, the dead, exiled god of the old dragons, who's off-sided to Kesis, also threatens to come back into the world and rule everyone, and put the dragons to war, and maybe adopt Calcrix into the Avatar position. Which that's not going to be a disaster either. No,
At all.
just ignore all of that. Concentrate on the coffee and the cookies
Except the cookies.
and the cute little companion Eep, who's a
Bloody
tiny
dangerous.
creature. Not of the Fey Dark at all. Won't eat Fey dragons from the
Just-
Friday Nights group.
Just ask.
Currently being retrained on eating cookies as her main source of nutrition, hopefully.
Except for that one time that she ate a demon.
And were I any good at drawing right now, Eek will be holding up a picture Caltrix drew, and I wrote notes of what that picture looks like. because I felt that there was a need. Okay, so the first picture out of pictures is a picture of Lani cooking at a campfire. She looks really pleased with herself, and underneath in a 4-year-old's scroll is, "You don't get this far in life without being delusional." She's decided that that's the picture
We'll
of
get
the
there.
day.
Lonnie is a weapons master. She can turn anything into a weapon. And apparently, at one point, it was her cooking.
She rolled
Equal
one.
then hold up picture number 2, Lani playing a flute,
Rolled
and
one.
a bunch of mice, but they're not running towards Lani, they're running away. Some running on 2 feet with their hands over their ears.
Weapons master.
No quote.
Just that.
Even Calcrix think that speaks for itself.
I think so.
Yeah.
Even Drachnamar didn't believe that someone could weaponize the flute.
And then learned the hard way
Scream.
that it was possible.
Yeah. It happened.
And that's me.
Next up we have is Kessler.
Hello, I am playing Kupo Lani Aokai. She goes by Lani. She is a human fighter, weapons master of the Makai people of the Isles. So basically think Maui slash as a girl kind of thing. So she, for the most part, started off with helping our NPC Drazzle and the party, just being the muscle to get things done. During this time, she's a little foolhardy, striking herself some titles. So it was Lonnie Weapons Master, Lonnie the Undying, Bane of Fire Giants, Provisioner of Pixies, Lonnie the Fey Human, A Plan the Well, the Cool Caped Crusader, because I have a cool cape.
I didn't know about that one.
That's because I got a cool cape.
I didn't know that.
Standard bearer of Clan Luo, officer of the United Navy, commander in the American Army, Captain Lonnie, Nightwalker Bane, Bane of Nightshades, Lonnie the Undefeated, Lonnie the recovered wielder, friend of the legendary Kakoa, Empress of the Sea, Great Mother, speaker of the first and last word, so on and so forth. The most important one was earning the title of Empress of the Sea and speaker of the last word, and further cementing what does undying actually mean. So we learned the last time that undying means that I am... Have you seen Loki? I am getting all my variants and killing them and taking their time. That is what I'm doing, apparently. Fun. And do I have a choice in this? Not really. So.
Well, it was either she did it or they did it.
Yeah.
It was a race to see who actually got to the island first and did it.
Yeah. So it's.
So she literally stole people who were sitting on the throne about to put the crown on.
Yep. So that is my fate, and that is what I have to live with. Is that I am killing all of myself in other timelines. Because other timelines do not have me.
And every time they die, you get to get the entire memory of what they did in an instant, and then what life you could have had if you had been them, but you can never have.
Yes. So it's a fun time, and it's a lot of burden. So I'm avoiding dying now. So there's a little bit more repercussion in there if I actually do die. So
Yes.
yeah.
I'm trying to be the saviour of the elven species, but it's still easier than what Lani's going through.
Which brings us to Paul.
Who is Paul Damar, the pretty boy diplomat, warlock, party healer, and amazing dresser, who does amazing things with the colour blue.
Who always looks cool.
Who always looks cool.
And somehow there's cherry blossoms blowing in the wind behind him every time.
That's the cape.
Yeah.
And he always looks appropriate for whatever situation he walks into.
Yes, including stepping between them at a party and going 4 or 5 different outfits.
And sizes.
Yes. Oh yes. The cloak does with. I've actually been this tall at one point. Normally
Because the room he went into, there were elves who were the size of halflings.
Yes.
And they
So
have
we can-
a
yeah.
size inferiority complex.
Yeah.
So we walked in shorter than they were.
Rather than being 2.5 meters tall.
Which does bring us to Naomi.
Yeah, so I'm Nadar. No fancy titles. Yet.
Yeah, we're going
I was
to
gonna
earn
say,
them.
yeah.
Lonnie does give out titles as well.
Wonderful. So I'm a dragonborn who one day when studying found this list of books and I was like, what's that? And found out they were forbidden and I said, I want that. So I'm on an adventure to find and read everything I can.
You're quite lucky you didn't end up as a warlock, because that is an option when you go for forbidden text.
Yeah, but they sound
Hey, the one I got wasn't even forbidden.
You have a couple other forbidden ones.
I got a list of
They're
I've got some
technically-
books you want to read.
The main difference that they see between wizard and warlock, wizard has to learn the rituals to correctly cast magic, warlock steals them. And they technically every spell they cast is stolen.
That's fine.
Yes.
Even if they have a patron, they're still stealing the spells.
Yeah, well the
a
whole
little
thing
bit
is
of theft is
the
fine.
whole thing is there's always a patron. Whether the patron knows about you or not is a different thing. It is theoretically possible, because normally it's you make a deal with a demon or something.
Yeah.
Or a fae.
Yes.
It is possible, and this is written up in the 5th ed book, it is possible to steal your stuff from a powerful creature who doesn't know you're doing it.
Which is where all the bard's magic comes from.
Yeah.
A bard's magic is all stolen. Just like everything else they do.
Yeah.
All of
That's very
Casper's
funny.
Both of them do it by
somewhere
having
no
lots and
one
lots of
can-
charisma.
Yeah.
So they can get away with it just by batting an eyelash at people.
Exactly.
Of course, they seduce the spellbook and win.
That's how a bard becomes a wizard.
Okay, so,
Although I look like a wizard because I've got a spellbook.
but then all spellcasters get a book.
Yes, but this one's for my is my wizardly, my warlock pact.
Okay, so, as it is the 15th day of the 5th month, called Yarthmont, as they have names for every other month, depending on which culture you're in, the months do have different names. So, the dwarves can give you a completely different rendition of what's happening in the year because their year starts differently. And then just about every other major race has a similar thing.
Just two quick things.
Yep.
How do you spell your character's name?
Nadaar.
I got close.
Oh, Mark will always get it wrong, but I'll try to get it right.
Well, I got the first 4 letters right.
Look at you go.
And then one with H.
Close enough.
My second question was for the scene that Eve was talking about. Can you just give me a signal when that's appropriate?
Okay, so, with our characters, they have been activating a portal to arrive back at the Atruaghin Plateau. And basically, they spent quite a long while trying to figure out how they're going to do this, how they're going to get a couple of thousand tribesmen across a month's worth of sea travel,
It's a long swim.
when none of them have anything more than coastal vehicles. So they went with a forbidden teleportation device.
That'll work, I'm sure.
What better way to bring people home than using something that no one else is willing or able to use?
And the gods say, if the gods see you doing it, they'll stop you by exploding it.
So it's a secret.
Yes.
Okay, so as your character has been in studying books, you will have met up with a large white dragon with many colored scales. Apparently, she has a familiar that likes to color in the scales every now and then. Or wipe the scales out, as the case may be.
I have a question of I don't know what it is, but in the 124, when they arrived, like when they started session, they kind of they skipped back. I think it's start of 125. Actually.
We essentially restarted the timeline. So
yeah, you restarted the timeline.
it was I was there and you weren't.
Father Pat didn't have his leg.
Yep.
And
What was
everyone
the-
had their memories.
What was the question?
Am I still drawn all over by elk children?
That is completely up to you.
I am still drawn all over by the elk clan.
Which
Okay.
weirds us out because we know when it happened and it didn't happen this time.
Yeah.
That is
And
correct.
you're
It
still
didn't happen
drawn
this
up.
time. And she's still drawn all over.
Obviously, Eat decided to duplicate it. I'm not going to ask.
Maybe I went, oh, too much, and Eat went, I have a project to do overnight.
Yes.
I don't need to sleep.
That's exactly what I was
Or even
thinking.
better, dealing with Russell can sometimes change the timeline.
Yes. On top of the timeline change that's already happened.
Because sometimes things don't change when everything else changes, and other times people disappear for no reason.
So, in addition to the multicoloured scales on the white dragon, there's a bunch of drawings all over her body that represent stories of adventures she's had through her life. So, add that to your visual picture.
She is tattoo
Yes.
style.
Yeah, pretty much.
And some of the other Dragonborn that you know did introduce you to the dragon, who is also a wizard.
Yes.
As a sense of, if you're going to read stuff, you may as well learn from someone who also reads from stuff.
I'll happily share some of my books with you. The other of those books, good luck finding them. If you do, you've rolled a 20 and you've earned it.
Okay, so did you want to describe that scene you had in mind?
Okay, so you see the white dragon. Are we in like a tavern, library, rivet scene?
You are in probably a encampment with lots of tents.
So she's off to one side of an encampment. She's just sitting down. There's this tiny plant sitting on the tallest log that she can find, standing upright, and she's holding up just a blue card. And then she looks down on the ground. She picks up a smiley face, and the little plant goes. And then she puts down the smiley face, picks up sad face. Plant goes. She puts down the sad face, picks up surprise face. Plant goes, and she goes, right. Puts them together, picks up a red card, picks up a happy smiley face.
Eat
And
is is not communicative.
she's
He is just expressive but not communicative.
His language is colour.
Eats language
Colour
is
and shape.
colour. So Chris is trying to figure out what colours at the moment mean what emotions.
And then she has to then figure out the shape nuance to tell the difference between why one colour means one thing and something else at a different point.
And
The
Yes.
difference
Yes.
between indigo and violet.
and how
Or round or square or squiggle.
and how details the gradation of the shading.
Yes. So this is going to be a
We're
project
starting with the
of
very
many
basics.
years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the
But he
concept-
can mimic sounds, but he doesn't understand the sounds.
he knows what some of them actually mean. Like he will say "ibagum" and at appropriate times. Yes.
Well, he swallowed a puppet that can say that.
The puppet.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna say the
but-
magic.
He is literally what he eats.
I know, but he also worked out that what time it was appropriate to say such a thing.
yeah,
Because he doesn't say it all the time.
she's intelligent.
Yes.
So he's intelligent.
Highly intelligent, yes.
Yeah.
So as you come over, the plant starts ignoring the dragon entirely, pulls out a bag and offers you a great big cookie.
Suggested eat it. They're good and useful.
Okay.
And making nice to eat is good. I've seen how he fights.
Oh,
He's only ever fought once.
That was enough. Thank you very much. He bent demons in half.
Oh God. How big is Eep?
Tiny
This
size.
size.
No, he's normally about this size.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
And
Just
she's-
that he
she's
can
technically
actually
a
grow
she.
bigger if you. She
Yeah.
can grow bigger if she wishes
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
But
the
she's holding up a cookie right now that's like 5 times her size.
Yeah.
Alright, so I bow very humbly to Eep. Thank you, kind plant. What is your name?
I say, this is Eep. She's my friend. I'm Calcrix. I'm I won't say Eep's owner, but I kind of take care of her. I'm just trying to learn her language. The cookies, by the way, don't worry about being obligated to the Fae Dark, because the obligation is just that you can't serve the evil god of corruption, ex ante odal.
Yes.
But just be careful, only ever take the cookies from Eve. Do not take anything else from Eve.
And only take
Do
when
not
offered.
ask Eve for anything.
Because
if
he's
you
a Fae.
if you need something passed to you, just ask me. I'm happy to do so.
Yes.
Because if you ask Eve, Eve is Fae Dark, and like all Fae, there is an obligation that comes with anything you ask or receive. Some of that is very neutral. We won't say innocent.
No such thing in innocent.
But their principles and their morals are a little bit different from ours. So it's always good to be careful. What's your name?
I am Nadar.
Nizar?
Nadar.
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 Where did you come from?
Oh, it's been so long since I actually had a home. I've been wondering.
That's sad.
So you come from being an
Calcrix pulls
adventurer.
out a cookie and gives it to you. Sad.
Right. So
I
So-
now have multiple.
to eat, Calcrix is her mount. I think that's how
Yeah,
it works
yeah,
out.
that-
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works out. Is that, are you a traveller, or do you not spend time with the other Dragonborn?
It's been quite a long time. The last I saw of the Dragonborn, I was kicked out because,
Oh.
unfortunately, my desire for knowledge is unbecoming.
But a desire for knowledge is a good thing. I'm going to have a word to my brother.
Oh, do not stress yourself over me.
Oh, I'm not stressed, but you should not be exiled.
People are going
Where's
to get told.
Drazzle right now?
I feel I have said something that is going to be a problem.
No, it's not really a problem.
It's gonna be
Not your
for
problem.
Other people. For other people, yeah, that's fine.
So that's kind of problem.
I won't make you feel uncomfortable at the moment, but definitely make sure that you're welcomed home and that people understand that a desire for knowledge is not a bad thing.
Well, they might meet Eep in a dark alley.
How have you come to this particular encampment? Are you helping us with the fight against the Master?
Who is the master?
He's the Dark Lord, for lack of a better word, who's been trying to eradicate all of Darrakan for the last 2.5 years. He's been eating the souls of the undead and using them to create more undead to make bigger and bigger armies in his attempt to become a god and annihilate an entire realm.
And we disagree.
And
That does not.
We're not fans.
No.
that and Calcrix opens up her wings. Not since he gave me this really big scar in the first battle, and there's these huge marks of gold scars all over one of her wings. She's like, no, I don't like him at all either.
No. I would agree with you on that.
No.
This is weaponized a life tree, and that just really really
World Tree.
a world tree.
The actual world tree that connects
Yes.
the planes together, he's used as a weapon.
Yes,
Mark,
which really irks the elves.
are
Strangely.
the other party members in the encampment? Do
Not
they know
yet.
about them?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
I was giving you a chance to give yourself a reason for being here and set the scene before they arrived.
I've just returned from a side
Assignment?
mission
Getting some more.
to
Getting some dark
to
scales.
actually help with something kind of not related to all of that. So I've just been biding my time here, waiting for the rest of my party to turn up. You're more than welcome to join me for tea or coffee, and I can share some of my knowledge with you. I've got some books here that you might be interested in that you can have a look at.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to intrude, of
Oh
course.
no one's intruding. Calfric whips out a coffee and tea set faster than you can actually register where she got it from.
And hands you 2 books while she's setting
Yeah,
it up,
and
while she's
no,
doing
she
stuff.
starts piling like there's this growing, you know, those to be read piles of books. There's like 8 or 9 books by now. She's still preparing coffee. She's just using her tail to like add to the pile. Just read any of those.
Oh, why, thank you. Thank you, that is very kind of you.
And as you're talking, there's a sound of thunder as lightning comes up from the south and strikes a building nearby.
That wasn't me.
And who else there?
It was me.
It was.
You find yourself on the top of the Atruaghin's Palace region,
Mm-hmm.
and you see a whole encampment of tents out nearby. With you can see Calcrix not far away.
Who could miss her?
Well, in the encampment, you're quite easy to see, but you also see behind Calcrix, working at a forge bigger than your family's home, a couple of dragons.
Wow.
Hammers almost bigger than a wagon.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And now you sort of know why you've been hearing reports of the hammering echoing for 8 to 16 miles away from the plateau. And they're not, and this is the southern side of the plateau, and it's still echoing
Yeah.
quite a distance.
yes. I'm just trying to visualize what they might be making. Dragon armor, I suppose.
By the looks of things, they're making ballista,
That's
something that a dragon would struggle to fire.
It's going to be interesting to see what that hits and what it does. Hi, have a piece of sharp tree.
Well, it does all seem to be forged out of metal.
Ooh. Have a sharp steel tree.
Yeah. And you can see what looks almost
I was
like
gonna
a
say-
forest of trees until you realise, no, they're just ballistas they've already made.
I can think of one Atruaghin who's gonna hate this.
Well, a lot of them, except for the dragony ones.
And then
Right.
then you have Drachnamar appear beside you.
Yes.
So,
I step out of the way.
Jack Dimmer's been well aware of this the whole time.
Yes.
He
But
doesn't mean to,
Aware
so
and
he's
like.
accept and goes through. Suddenly he doesn't wear metal.
yes.
And it's unlikely for Drachnamar to say, no, you can't do that to a dragon.
Yeah.
More than
I
once.
mean, it's also the fact that he's recognised
He says
that,
it to
hey,
me all the time.
this is part of
Atruaghin's
the ongoing plan to secure again on the Great One. So,
I'll go for things that are like money. But coins, no.
And you do see that all the dragons working here are the gemstone dragons.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
They're generally not involved in the politics of the world. They basically deal with extraplanar threats
Mm.
and keeping the things that shouldn't be in this world out of it. The
Yes.
metallic dragons deal with the bureaucracy and the government of the dragons. And the chromatics are, well, they're the ones who just live their lives as they see fit. So dragons and these are good nor evil. They're each individual.
Yes.
So you can have 2 red dragons who are complete polar opposites.
Fair enough.
So good is in their actions, not in their description. So as a character, you'll be lawful, neutral, or chaotic in general, and that's just a general concept of your character. Good and evil is in how you play. And you can play good one day and evil the next, depending on what you're doing. Just too much evil play and your character becomes an NPC.
Yes.
Which is fair.
Generally get warnings of that, but sometimes it's like, well, I'm trying to kill the entire party. Well, that one doesn't get a warning.
No.
Okay, so, and then Lani comes through as well.
Biggest question.
Yep.
Do I still get to wear my crown?
Yes.
Yes. This is all I care about.
You don't seem to be able to take it off.
It's fine with me. Totally fine.
To be honest, if I had a crown, I would be taking it off either. I'd sleep in that thing.
It's now part of my outfit.
Well, she doesn't need to sleep because technically she can no longer sleep
What? Since
I feel
when?
sorry for you.
since you put the crown on.
What the heck? I haven't found this out yet because it hasn't been. We haven't had.
Well, you've had
long
15
rest?
days since you've put
so
the
I
crown
figured
on,
this
so
out
it's been
now.
15 days since you slept.
Obviously, we don't have time for that.
This is ridiculous now.
So suddenly you have a whole 8 more hours of your day.
Maybe use the crown.
This is terrible. I hate this. I hate this even when on weekends. If I get up early, I'm just like, oh, there's too much time in a day.
Think of how much extra studying you could do.
That sounds like an elf. Something an elf would say.
And guess who's on watch all the time
Skill
now?
I watch you doing skill training.
I was going to say permanent watch list. I'm sleeping in.
You've got more skills than I do.
I know, because I'm a human. I pick up skills really easily.
Yes.
I'm
And
gonna be real good at a lot of things.
and now you'll never dream.
This is terrible.
The only dreams you'll have are those of you who you've erased.
Well, I hope they have interesting dreams, because this is ridiculous.
Hey, you've got the memories and dream. Almost the
Nah,
same thing.
close enough. I can daydream. Can't take that away from me. A different god will, but it's fine.
Hey, you'll learn all the nuances of your new gift as you go.
At least I get a crown.
And you don't have to worry about someone taking it while you're sleeping.
Yeah, it sounds like they'll rip off my head if they do that.
Okay, so yes, you all see that looks like that there is close to 10,000 people in the encampment around the Palace of Atruaghin. The palace itself is a forbidden ruin up until recently.
How many dragons were there? Just 2?
There's probably about 10 different dragons doing various tasks. Most of them are enchanting or constructing.
I presume I've met them all. I've been here long enough to give them gifts and things.
You have met them all. They have all taken interest in you and trying to convince you that to step beyond what the other dragons are wanting you to do. Evolve.
Oh, right. I'm pretty sure I'm outside of what all dragons want me to do right now.
Well, they want you to be your own person, and if you evolve far enough, you can't be called upon the other gods.
I will point out to all of them that I am not in the Worm's Teeth Mountains right now arguing about etc. etc.
That's why they're not there.
So we're in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So you said about 10. And they're gemstone dragons?
Yep.
Thanks.
Each of them would be a different gemstone coloration.
I'll be fangirling whenever I'm not trying to learn what Eve's trying to say or keep company with Dragonborn and read books.
So dragons can evolve. So you can evolve into a metallic and then into a gemstone and then into more of a elemental dragon. And after that, you actually become a cosmic dragon.
Caprix is going to look into it.
Takes a while.
Takes a while. The cosmic dragons are the ones who fight between the solar systems.
you have to fight? Could you just
And protect the world.
explore?
Yeah.
Well, you can, but that's their role. Their role is to protect the younger systems from being enslaved.
Oh, okay, she'd do that.
So that's what they fight for.
Sailor Caltrix. Look, Sailor Moon.
She could probably come up with an outfit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ponytails might be hard.
It's okay, I'm sure you can pinch some from some horses.
Pinch some from horses. Collect horsehair, make her own.
I'm sure it will grow back.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you do see all this. You see that there is a new person with Calcrix.
Calcrix, when she sees Lani, will approach Lani, give her a little bow, and say, Lani, Time Reaper, leader of lives, undying child of the Grim Reaper, my friend to Calcrix, and gives you a cookie.
Oh, thank you. I actually really need this right now. So Lonnie will give Calcrix a hug as well.
Yeah, you get hugs.
I love this group. They're so supportive.
So,
In her own weird way.
yeah. With that,
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself. It's like, hello, I'm you can call me Lonnie. I have a bunch of titles. You'll learn them in time. But you can call me Lonnie.
Lovely to meet you, Lani.
Yeah, ignore this.
Why would I ignore such a beautiful crown?
No big deal. It's fine.
This is Nadar.
We'll find out when you
The
get the
dark.
titles.
Very lovely to meet you, Nadar. I'll introduce you to, well, and Dracomir.
Calcrix will inform you that as Nadar
Dracula probably would have actually been going off to actually, to the leader of this encampment settlement to confirm what's going on, check that it's all up to date, it moves smoothly, and also describe the fact that, hey, we've got another few thousand about to arrive, well, over time.
Okay, so
Lani just points at your retreating back.
when Dracnomar finds the camp leader's office, he finds Drazzle sitting there going through all the reports.
Right, okay.
You don't remember Drazzle actually travelling with you. You rarely do.
So, let's have a congratulations all in there for us, anywhere we've gone, even if we just left it behind.
He's
But that does make it easy for Dracula to catch up the current camp leader.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if Drazzle goes, I will have been travelling with them so I can know what they were doing as if I were there, but I'm not. And then he writes down what he didn't see.
Drazzle's a time jumper. And Lonnie's
Yes.
learning to be like this, so it's going to be a fun time. It's only mostly confusing.
So yes, Drazzle gets you up to speed. He gives you a book.
Okay.
That's impressive, he gave you a book.
Apparently, it's Life According to Dracnomar.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he wrote a story based on your experiences and managed to embellish a little bit.
A bit.
Calcrix wants to get a copy and have it signed.
Of course.
Dracula will put the book away where no one else needs to look at it.
That's okay. Drazzle has copies, he says.
Calcrix possibly already has one.
And apparently, the rest of the camp has a copy too.
Oh dear.
Well, they've got to somehow find reasons to look up to their fearless leader.
Of course. There must be proof that he's a fearless leader.
Well, you do have close to 200,000 tribesmen working with you,
Yes.
and they'll only follow whoever's got the right to lead.
Yes. Of course, Atruaghin turned up and said, him. So.
Yeah, he was...
And quite a few of the elders couldn't determine if either any of them were worthy enough to lead, and when they found out just how many troops Dracnar had behind him, they went him.
Yes. We'll accept that cheat code.
Well, if it was a fight to see who had the right to win, they weren't sure that if they banded up against Dracnar, they had the numbers to win.
Yeah.
So most of them were with, we'll go for the big stick.
He was the one that no one had actual grievances against.
Yes.
He was the least objectionable. He had to get something behind it.
And he was also the one not there not to vote against himself, so he was unanimously passed.
Yes.
He couldn't get back to where.
Unreal to himself.
Yeah, it does. Well, considering that it's not just Atruaghin who said this is the guy, it's all the other gods went, yeah, we'll go with that.
Yep.
Publicly.
I think now it's because he's got a time travelling dragonborn and a multicoloured white dragon that would object if anyone tried to do anything to him.
It does help that they still have Drazzle sitting amongst them as a shaman who doesn't do shamany stuff.
Drachma doesn't need us to help him out.
He sounds just as confusing as a shaman, so it's close enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, when he tells people to do stuff, they do it. Not sure why, but they do it.
Yeah, that's because he's got charisma at the wazoo and the strength personality of a dragon.
Okay, so
I was going to say, is that what you've got? You're a dragonborn? Charisma at the wazoo?
Wizard,
It's
intelligence at the wazoo.
Mostly wisdom and intelligence.
and so you learn very quickly that the dragons and the dragonborn have been constructing siege machines.
Handy, because based off of what we saw last time, we need a bigger boat.
And these are siege machines that don't require technology or magic to operate.
Cool.
Once they're fired, there's just projectile.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Was this about needing a boat?
Oh,
we
just
need to
making
get
the,
them places.
making the joke that we need a bigger boat.
A Jaws
right.
reference.
Yeah, I get the
Sorry.
impression
Jaws
that with these
reference.
ballista, it's going to be one ballista per dragon, and then they're going to fly it places.
Sounds
Well,
cool.
the idea is they intend to use it to take out the master's weaponry.
Yep,
Which is good.
I can just see them.
Or the
using
master.
It. Yes,
Ideally.
if they can get a good shot, I
Does
can
that
see
mean
them
there's
using it
a
from mid-air too.
bunch of Calcrix's gnomes advising them on how to where to hit a soul forge?
Well, no soul forge will be in the battle,
I'm joking.
but they would probably be worried about losing one because they're not sure if it will take out all the soul forges when they go or just one. The gnomes' holy relic steals life energy to power their gear.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you own gnomes, then they can, by deed of owing them, steal your life force to power their machines.
You literally sign your life away when you buy one of their things.
Okay, yeah, no, that
And a bunch of them
Don't
have
owe
spent their entire lives making people owe them.
Yes,
That way the community keeps running.
because they keep being able to make them magic items.
Calcrix is working to change that.
yeah.
One gnome at a time.
Yes.
But hey, it was the... most of the time it's just people would only give up a weekend to power it, and that wasn't a big thing, or criminals would be used to power it as part of their crimes against the community.
Yeah.
Just that when someone misused it, he's using it to power an army by taking the life force of those he kills. So going, yeah, it can be quite an extreme. So this is where Warforged are coming into the setting
Yeah.
as the first year they've seen the Warforged.
Yes.
Okay.
Embodied souls where their bodies have been destroyed, so they've built new ones.
Well, no, they're not destroyed. He's just turned them
He's
into
just using them as
that-
power for
no, the
statues.
the bodies are turned into undead, and the souls are put into machines. So
That's
he's
what I
got
was thinking.
2 for 1.
Yeah. And both embodied rather than just one scaring people.
It's economical.
I think he's a guy we need to take down.
Yes.
And in D&D terms, the party knows that he would be a level 36 character.
Okay. Strong boy.
And we're 12.
Not so strong boys.
Yes.
I don't know. If you put us all together, we're like level.
About
100?
15.
You'd be considered able to take on a challenge level 12, whereas he would definitely be the equivalent of maybe a challenge level 30 to 35.
I was trying to make a joke that if
Yes.
you add up 5
Yes.
12s, it equals like 60.
Yes. But, yeah.
Okay, so
Fortunately, leveling doesn't. You go by the total XP, it's rather different.
yes, it does get rather different. So yes, you. What does Draknamar do once he finds out what the dragons are up to and what they're involved in?
Well, actually, his main point was because obviously the main reason we'd gone through the portal first was to clear the way for the
Incoming.
boat of the Isle of Dread to actually get through and have space to go through.
Yes.
Noting the portal had apparently appeared in the middle of the campsite that was already under construction and going through. And obviously, Drazel is probably aware and expecting the portal. He'll be basically first of all just enjoying that it is prepared for an influx of people, and then Drazel catches him up on what's been happening and the planning and preparation. He can effectively return to catch up with what the rest of the party have been doing after
Yes.
that sorted, and catching up with any official meetings or business that he has to attend to.
You do notice that when Drazel does give you what's happened, he always refers to his book before he tells you.
Yep. Well, that's I was also more expecting that there might be a few other personnel that Draken will need to talk to aside from Drazel, who might be able to give a better indication or a more in-depth indication of exactly what's happening right now, as opposed to what's supposed to be happening and therefore what will be happening.
Or what's supposed to happen this time.
Midst of rescuing the population of a medium town.
Okay, so
Uh,
yes,
and make the people who are actually involved in accommodating, feeding, and housing these new influx. You're aware of the coming in.
yes, apparently a bunch of Dragonborn clerics have showed up here to prepare accommodations and food. Because, well, they got told over a month ago that you were coming.
Marvelous.
They just weren't sure how.
That's right.
How did the 10,000 odd people that are here get here?
1 footstep at a time.
Okay. And they all kind of just came from all regions?
From quite a few different regions. A lot of Dragonborn also found themselves pulled out of wherever they were and brought here.
Right.
Which would be how you ended up here.
Yeah.
You were somewhere and then you were here.
Yeah. You don't remember the somewhere, just the here?
Just the year.
I'm sure you remember at some point.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
Is Redford in here?
He is not here. He doesn't have an encampment here.
Okay. I just was curious.
We can still talk to him though.
And so, Jeremy, you get a chance to catch up with the various other important personnel who show you way more deference than you lack.
Right.
And so obviously the dragon smiths are important folk here. I'm assuming that most of the rest of the folk are Dragonborn / Atruaghin
They're
around?
mainly Dragonborn and Atruaghin who want to be part of the Dragon Tribe. Because of course the Dragon Tribe's the best tribe.
Of course.
Obviously.
Well, the Chief of Chiefs is sometimes a dragon. I think you want to be a part of the dragon clan.
Though you do find most of the Dragonborn to still be very subservient.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Dragon is not here to interrupt or disrupt the flow of activity any more than the influx of additional people is going to be until he actually found out more about what's actually running the thing. But at this stage, he's happy to get the catch-up briefing and then return to the rest of the party or find where they got to again, and it'll give them a brief catch-up on, we've been expected, it's all good.
Okay. Ariadna, what were you
So I was
asking?
trying to just non-verbally ask if I could put the aircon on.
Yes, you can.
And of course, the interruption I was hoping to avoid.
It's just trying to comprehend someone else's words while other people are talking. So
Should have
always
just
easy.
done that.
Yes, that would
That
have
would
worked
have
well.
worked. Yeah.
Or just turn it on. Okay, so yes. You do see Draktamar come back a bit later in the day after you've had a chance to relax and see people start coming through. It's like a bolt of lightning striking each time. Because it literally is a bolt of lightning striking each time.
Right.
So now there's going to be bruise and
The-
a thunderstorm
Edge to the
in the
noise.
area.
The good thing for lightning situation is you don't need to sleep anyway, so it doesn't matter if there's a bolt of lightning happening every 2 minutes.
Exactly.
It'll be day and night because there's a lot of people that come through.
It's going to suck for everybody else.
Yes.
But
Yes. It is.
I'm a lightning dragon. I'm not bothered by the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's the noise of the thunder slap every time and it's very hard to sleep.
I'm good.
I think it's also
It's like
like being at
the
home.
sound of the Smithy Hall connection is pretty hard to sleep too.
I was gonna say the thundering cloud with the smithies.
I was gonna
also
say, who the hell is sleeping? There are dragons working a forge. How are
Yes.
you not watching this?
That's why I can't sleep. Well, rest in my
I was gonna say in your case, rest. Yeah.
Still.
So each of the dragons are gargantuan in size.
Yes.
Well, I can go up to gargantuan if I use a couple of spells. I don't bother.
And they each have various tools, so each of them are craftsmen amongst the dragons. They're the sort of people dragons go to when they want specialty items.
Fancy.
I'll be taking copious notes.
And you do find that they are the armorers of the dragons as well. So when dragons want their weapons of war, they go to these guys.
Dragon with a great sword. That's a scary thought.
Sounds cool.
Yes. A dragon with a longbow flying over an army. I think that's what they're doing.
Because I understand dragon etiquette, I'll have crafted a gemstone dragon for each dragon in the colour of the dragon with the weapon they specialise in and have gifted it to them with the appropriate obeisance and etiquette and cookies and coffee and endless amounts of questions stuck in between.
It's taking the fan off me.
Yeah, I didn't know where to put the swing. I tried to keep it on low and
Yeah.
put the temperature.
Just that with it on the back of my head, it wasn't comfortable.
Can't tell.
You don't like having a gentle breeze?
Yes, but gentle cold breeze after having a shower not so long ago.
No. Usually not.
Yeah, so hopefully they like it. Hopefully it's good enough.
Mhm. They are quite pleased with that.
I don't want to make another dragon accidentally angry with me by forgetting to give them their gifts.
Fair.
Well, hey, you are still a child amongst their beliefs. No matter how big you are, you're still very young.
Oh, I made that mistake once. Not going to do it again.
And you do see that these ones don't really care as much about gifts as the others, because technically they've got hordes that other dragons envy. Mainly because they pay them to get the items.
But now they have a personalised representation of themselves made of gemstones.
Which is very meaningful to them. Which is why they normally don't take gifts from people.
Well, I'm pleased they at least accepted them then.
And they do consider you a very courteous young dragon.
I'm 12. I'm pretty sure they would have accepted the gifts no matter what. Because it'd be like smacking a 4-year-old who brought you a bad drawing.
Yeah.
Especially when their hammers are as big as the dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder, what do they make of Eep?
They try to ignore Eve.
If they hit Eat with one of those hammers, it might have an effect. They don't want to chance it.
Yeah.
They do recognize Eve.
Yeah, I forget they put.
So they try to ignore Eve.
Yeah.
They try to just think that she's just a leaf on your
I'm
horns or
not
something.
surprised.
Yes. Hard imagining. Dragons are good at that.
Well, their job is to keep threats like Eve out of this world.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
kind of just ignoring it.
Eep is not a threat. She's my friend.
Yet if 100 Eeps came through at the same time,
That would be an existential threat.
Yeah. I'm surprised none of them have taken her aside to explain to her the danger that she's in.
well, as long as it's one, they're not worried, because you've got it handled as far as they're concerned.
Now, what's the thing? Eat plus you isn't a problem.
Okay.
Eat without you,
Is a problem.
yes.
Yeah. No. It's probably good that they tell her that, because she keeps thinking that maybe for Eve's own good, she should send Eve to back home or
Oh.
something.
Eat won't go.
But Eve loves you.
Yeah. She still worries that.
Well, a tiny little thing carried the big dragon off the battlefield.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. So when she got the scars and she hit the
Yeah.
ground,
Eat carried her.
the dwarves that were on the battlefield talk about a tiny little plant creature yelling death to the infidel to everybody who came close to the dragon as she carried the large dragon off the battlefield. So
Yes.
yeah,
With ease.
That is a sight.
and not even the undead attackers went close to Eve. They're like, nope.
Not gonna spot.
I'm not seeing a thing. Enemy.
Yes, so that they have gone through 2 years of brutal warfare so far,
Mm-hmm.
and the warfare happened through most of winter.
It's been brutal, yeah.
And so far, the Dragonborn have been kept out of it.
Mm.
So that'll be one reason why you haven't heard much about it. Mainly because the Master has a way of compelling dragons to do his bidding.
That makes sense.
And-
Makes sense to me.
But not everyone has that gift.
No, I got special exception.
You got cookies.
Well,
No,
no.
it's the Queen of Darkness. She
Yeah.
freed me from any possibility of being enslaved by the Master's influence, which worked out really well when I was trying to free Calamity, because we wouldn't have the Primal Titans back if I didn't have that, because the Master tried to take control of me, but because I had that gift,
Was told to bog off by a god.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, almost succeeded though. Came close.
Yeah, it was really close.
It
but
was
that
a
Friday.
saving throw instead of a foregone conclusion.
Ooh. Interesting.
Sorry, Calcrix also helps the Friday D&D Mystara party, and so on the Friday D&D Mystara party, they had to persuade the Primal Titans to return home,
Because
and-
the seasons had stopped completely in winter.
Yes.
Ooh, that's right.
Because we'd been waking them up, and then the rest of them woke up, and no one knows this. We're not telling them.
We won't overwhelm you with history.
There is a whack ton. We're not going to.
And so yes,
Cause my brain to explode.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then you find
Makes sense.
the
Like we were in it.
Chief of Chiefs shows up with Drazzle in tow,
Mhm.
who nods in your general direction, which is how much he acknowledges most people. Most Dragonborns he walks by unless they've done something wrong.
He doesn't punish them. There's acceptance.
And when he punches them, he sends them backwards through his cart.
You don't
Yeah.
want
Cow Cricks.
He has only one punishment.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's true.
Cow Cricks pulls out a book and holds it in front of Drazzle. Waiting for him to sign it.
Yes.
Okay, he signs it his way.
He signs all of Cow Cricks' books. She's got a complete signed set. And then she has a backup set. Just in case she loses any of her Dr. Azel's set. And then she gives him a hug and then she says, now, about Dragonborns. Are they allowed to be exiled from their own homes because they want to read books?
Drazzle not like. Drazzle fix.
Thank you. She gives another hug and yet another cookie.
And Calcrix edits the world again.
She didn't mention any name. She just asked a question.
So, Jeremy, you're introduced to the new Dragonborn who's apparently been assigned to you as your arcane support. Mainly because you're the Chief of Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're the Dragon Clan, you've been assigned a Dragonborn wizard.
Yeah.
There's not many of them.
Okay. When they about that change to Dragonborn wizards, there are wizards in most other races.
Oh,
Unbelievable, really?
a lot less because they don't get access to books.
But yes, anyway. Greetings, Lisa, wizard. I see you've met our colleagues.
Yes, I was passing through and I was given 2 cookies.
Colleagues, we're family.
The general will actually basically accept one for one factor. Well, yes, it appears that we have been expected and they're prepared for the influx of personnel from the Isle of Dread.
To the sound of the thunder claps as various lightning bolts strike nearby.
And otherwise, preparations are progressing. It would seem the concerns about having to clear the pathway and ensure that it was safe for the others to come through. We've ticked off that box already.
Drazzle says, not yet. You'll do so later. But you'll have done so later.
Well, but in the sense that we weren't certain whether or not the portal was opening out. We didn't know where the portal was opening to and how well controlled that area was.
You believe Drazzle's
Obviously,
just...
the area is not under the influence of wild or unknown creatures or forces at this stage.
you feeling that Drazzle just gave you a prophecy saying that you're going to go back in time and set it all up?
So, can I just get that so I can get all of it?
Yep.
Drazzle just said,
That he hasn't done it yet, but he will have done so.
what
In the
hasn't
future.
he done yet?
Set up the camp.
Ah, right.
Well, On the, I'm assuming it's part of the discussions with not necessarily Draxel, but the other leaders slash administrators of the encampment. The timeline currently is when we expect it to be.
It is. It is the coming up to the end of spring, and most of them are, sort of curious as to why you went away. But when they hear about that you're bringing tribesmen in, they go, yeah, more returning the lost clan.
Yes. But so that means that from Gatima's perspective, the exit from the portal is currently safe and cleared. How that happened, or the fact that the enchantment is already here, is not Gatima's concern right now.
But it will be.
The fact that Gatimu has apparently already cleaned it along with the others, not that he remembers necessarily doing that yet, that continues to be a problem.
I'm sure future you will fix the problem.
Right now, it's clear and ready.
Okay, and apparently you had gathered all people to set everything up in accordance to how you believed it should be done.
Yep, that's right. And obviously that's why, yes, I mean, based upon how long the dragon smiths have apparently been working in the area, based upon the rigging of metals that was heard for the last at least few seasons, possibly the last couple of years. Yeah. Potentially, or apparently, Cracknimmer and co might have actually cleared the area a couple of years ago, even if we don't remember doing it right now.
And the benefit of having the dragonsmiths nearby is the rest of the clans are very much willing to follow the dragon clan's lead.
As big and impressive goes over all sorts of things.
Well, gargantuan dragons with weapons bigger than any mount they have.
Or even most of their trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're unlikely to say, yes, we'll charge and take on the other clan and beat them in a showdown.
We'll go along with whatever you say.
Yeah.
Well, due to the fact that gargantuan dragons are apparently making weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of, right, well, we don't like them, but we're going to wait till all the dragons are gone. Until then.
In the meantime, yes,
wait
sir.
for a dragon to leave somewhere. That's always a smart plan. It'll take forever.
Yes.
And you do see that a lot of the people coming through match many of the Atruaghin in that there are quite a few humans there, but many animalistic races as well. So you'll see turtles, cat people, bird people, bear people. They have a very big mix of it. What was that?
Elk.
Yep, elk people, but most of the elk people were already here. So that's less of a surprise.
Yeah.
As the elk clan was Dracnimar's original clan.
Mm-hmm.
Before he gave his name away to a dragon.
Yes.
Not me. It wasn't me. I
No.
didn't take it.
Now, it was a fey dragon who said, "Oh, hi, you look interesting. Can I have your name?" "Oh, certainly, it's Dracnimir. Thank you."
Well, no, his
Sorry,
name
his old name.
was
So, yeah, can I have your name?
Yeah.
So he gave it to him. So he went, now the dragon is that name now.
Yeah.
because
Jeremy knew what was happening, the
Oh,
character
yeah.
did not.
That's right.
I liked it more when it became no idea after that happened.
Yes. What's your name? No idea. So that's what he was for a bit.
And then he was referred to as the tribesman because no one knew how to refer to him.
Yeah.
and then he was
Then he came up with a
blessed with his new name. But
I think
Well, then Atruaghin gave him the name himself. So
yeah.
Yes.
we happen to be the name Dragon Namer or Cracknimmer.
Cracknimmer.
And so yes, you have gathered in what's been set aside for the Chief of Chiefs. It looks like the same size as any of the other tents. He doesn't like frilly stuff.
This sounds like the talking room now.
Yes. Probably better quality than anyone else's.
Well, it's the best guarded of the tents.
Yeah.
Not that it needs its own guards.
No, but guards show that this is the chief's one.
As much as Captain would be perfectly happy to have it completely unobtrusive and unknown,
Yeah.
apparently, just because he's chief of chief, does not mean he gets to go away.
Clan security, but
Yeah.
otherwise.
And most of his security is all dragonborn with more muscles than brains.
Unfortunately, apparently, I have some of the brain dragonborn in the party itself.
Apparently, he got most of the brains of the group.
Well, some of them had
Well.
to give up their brains so that others could have them.
They may have ended up with your strength there.
Yeah, no, that'll track.
Gavrix is going to ask Drizzle if there's any update he can give on the fire giant situation. Or should she contact Red Ring?
Druzzle says he can't say.
Okay. I will ask Red Union when this walked away.
Okay, so there is fresh food, there is fresh bedding. You can't really tell his tent apart from what he's given to every other person.
Just because I can't sleep doesn't mean I don't appreciate good bedding.
You know those times where you lay down and you just can't sleep because your brain's not stopping and shutting down?
Yeah.
You get that every time you lay down.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I get to kick back and
Tea?
think. Yeah.
Tony tea? Rescue tea?
Nothing's gonna help.
Oh, it
Nothing.
just tastes nice, that's it.
I do appreciate that.
But you look well rested.
Yeah. Looking great.
And we have iced tea with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so can I even have a ring that makes me extra pretty too, so there's that.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, I can just wave in your direction and have it happen too.
Can you be the opposite of sleeping beauty?
Yeah.
Waking nightmare?
That's what some people call me.
New title.
Fool does
Depends
the
on
sort of
whose
elven
perspective
wizard
you're looking at.
style. If there is a way of doing something, he will use magic for it.
Fair enough.
But on the bright side, people don't have to worry about you invading their dreams.
True. Yet.
Yes.
I made friends with a couple Reapers already. Wait.
Well, no. The point is, we don't worry about invading the dreams, just invading our sleep.
Yeah. So I finally get to be the.
I time all the time.
I finally get to be the embodiment of the Taylor Swift song, "Cause darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream." That's me. Hell yeah.
Okay, so, Jeremy, what does Dracnomir think needs to be done at this point now that you've managed to achieve your objective sometime in the future in the past?
Mm-hmm. So, well, okay. From his perspective, it might take him a few days to actually confirm that everything's running smoothly and according to his specifications that he'd already provided when he set this up previously from the future, one of the two, something or other. From that idea, he hasn't got anything to add to the progress or change, like to actually modify the situation to obviously it's all been set up to how he wanted it in the first place, or how he planned it in the first place.
It is
Whether or
set
not
up.
there's then been some adaptation of his intent. He'll certainly be looking at what sort of changes have been occurring in that sort of line. But if there are improvements on his plans, then that's certainly fine by him. if he thinks they're a problem, then you'll discuss about the idea. Well, hang on, yep. There's a reason I was looking at this, doing it this way, and if they can then explain that, oh, well, no, we didn't do it that way because of this, that's all fine too. So.
Okay, and Ariadna, what were you saying?
And it's going to be something that you'll be aiming to help incorporate the additional workforce that's coming in, particularly because they already represent at least part of what Nimmer's ideal of combining the clans into a cohesive group as opposed to individual organisations.
All good. And Ariadna?
In terms of the group's missions, last in front of us was Lami gets to her throne by summer. She's done that.
With a whole 15 days to spare.
We did get our dwarven allies in the end.
You did talk to them, yes.
Yeah.
Did we get our elven allies in the end?
You did, and by breaking the elven talking platform.
Yes.
And what about our map, which I think we had 2 or 3 of 5 pieces?
You haven't got any further with that yet.
Is that something that we need to advance?
Well, you don't believe you can get the others until time lines itself up.
Okay.
Because
so
they were locked in time, not
Yeah.
just in location.
currently on hold. I just thought I would check in because we were talking about having completed missions and things like that. Just checking they are
All good.
all box ticked, I guess.
Okay, so as Dragnamar has a look through all the various things, he does have the realization that whatever they did to set it up, it's been changed multiple times in time.
Well,
So
hopefully for the better each time.
there is a log of how each one went wrong, such as built too close to where the stream ran. Built on a game trail, built too close to the Palace of Atruaghin before it was fully cleaned out.
Ooh.
Built on the Palace of Atruaghin, and well, that was a bad one.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, it saved on building material because there were buildings already there.
Yeah, you just fortify it.
And it would also meant that it was close to the portal, because hey, the portal came out. So.
And it was always an interesting day because there was always something attacking you. We fixed that, but still.
Like I said, we're somewhat away from the palace. At least you're slightly further away from the thunderclaps every time someone comes through. So it, the lack of a figure better if they can get around the noise of the smithy.
Well, with the smithy and the thunderclaps, it's not much of a difference.
No, they can't.
But hey, everyone else has gotten used to it by now. And they've learned hand signals work well. And so yes, the camps have been laid out a little bit.
What would work better?
Go ahead.
What would work better would be a ring around each of the smithies of silence spells.
That would take a lot of silent spells.
And the downside about that is it wouldn't technically stop the ringing unless the silent spell was actually on the forge.
Yeah.
Because that has to stop the source and the destination.
You would have to cover
the source or the destination.
Yeah, you'd have to have a silent spell big enough to cover the whole anvil.
Well, we'll look at the idea, and obviously the fact that it's going over the top, but technically, sound is not going to through a silent spell. And therefore, if you're on the other side of the effect, then you won't hear it.
Yes, but if there is any gap at all, it will get thrown.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure you do have a couple of sleep tents that have silence cast on them.
Yes. A silence effect, definitely. I'm going to do that because I can. Actually, I'll offer that for anyone else as well.
I'm sure that there are plenty
Yeah.
of silence tents all around camp.
Yes.
Mainly because they would have learned very soon that if you wanted to sleep outside of ringing, it vibrates through the ground as well. Tremor sense sucks when someone's hammering the ground nearby.
It's like a massage bed.
Well, it does sort of feel like a mini earthquake every few seconds.
If you slept on a
The
boat
problem with
before,
it-
it's the same
The
thing.
problem with sleeping in a silence cell tent, it's a lot harder to be alert for any issues or dangers.
That's what guards outside are for.
Yes.
So you sleep in a hammock, then it's just like you're sleeping on a ship. And for anybody who has their sea legs, it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
You can't sleep. It's not a problem. You have to solve.
Yes, but it's for those of us that do or rest.
Lani's the thinking fighter.
Yeah, she's willing to think about other people.
Well, she has to learn to think now. Never been good at thinking.
Okay, so yes, it doesn't take Drachnemy too long to find everything's in order. A couple of days have passed as you've been getting a chance to get to know each other, and that Drachnemy has definitely been assigned a wizard. So you got a promotion. Apparently, Drazzle fixed things, and you're now assigned to the Chief of Chiefs.
Okay.
As far as everyone else is concerned, technically you've just outranked every other Dragonborn.
I was just passing through.
Now you're
And from Drazzle's perspective, fixed.
Yes.
Power Bricks will give Drazzle a hug.
Yeah.
Promotion.
They can't expect you from the lands if you're the leader. Well, technically, in Dracula's case, they stole you from the lands and then you became leader.
Yes. Silence has an issue. It's only 10 minutes, and it's concentration.
So from the dragon's perspective, you are considered his court wizard. Congratulations.
Better than a court jester. I'll take it.
Yeah, it depends on the dragon. They may consider that the same thing.
There you go. That works.
Claw will stand up.
Yeah.
So Claw's taking the jester role, is he?
I could do that to disarm people. It would be an amusement.
The killing joke?
I was going to say,
That would be
Darwish is the
me
one
spooching
with,
people with Eldritch Blast.
I'm the one with what's the hideous laughter and
Yes, Tasha's hideous laughter.
irresistible dance.
Oh, that's just rude in a combination. That's nasty.
Yes. You dance so hard that you can't stop, while laughing so much you can't breathe. So literally you dance, laugh yourself to death.
Yep.
I'm a true follower of Bahamut. I talk instead of actually fight where I can, and if I can't do that, I tell jokes you have to laugh at and invite you to a dance you can't refuse.
Yes, dance off against a dragon may not work so well.
Yes.
Works in with the jazz wing.
It does.
Yes. I found out about a very, very nasty spell combination which works in most versions of D&D, which is going to involve me having to get probably a scroll that allows me to cast Spike Growth.
Alright,
And I've
so
got the Eldritch Blast invocations that allow me to push someone away or pull someone towards me.
Yeah.
Alternating.
okay,
Sorry,
so
Spike
what does
Growth.
that do?
Make sure they're on top. Cast it underneath somebody. Pull them back and forth over the Spike Growth.
Oh, I see.
2d4 per move. 6 times a round. There's rudeness.
Yes. Yes, Jeremy?
Okay, so, well, from Dracula's perspective, yes, we take a few days to confirm, settle in what's happening in bits and pieces. But there's probably nothing necessarily holding, well, certainly not holding the rest of the party, but certainly Dracula will be ready to move on if there's other things to go to. But it's also a case of we're coming towards the end of the month, which I think might also be coming towards the end of the potential non-war season. Is that what we're talking
No,
about?
5 months.
next month coming up is summer, and that means you've got 6 months left. You had to get the crown for Lani before summer started.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay.
a different Lani got the crown.
So
Yeah, but we're not expecting the master to move for another 6 months or so yet.
there is a list of things from Redrian that probably still need attending to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's okay. I'm happy with that. I was thinking we're running out of time before the master moved again. So.
But you had time to do stuff. You've just managed to get through most of a month in dealing with the Lost Clan getting back to the main clans.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm yeah.
And
I'm
so
happy that we'll take up that Nimmer's time, if anybody's. But I'm also happy to be in good hands. And
Why don't we put a call through to Redrian?
if there are other things that people are aware that we need to be working on, then
Yep, fire giants.
happy to look at that. But otherwise, Captain is happy to be working on maintaining the processing here at the campsite or the encampment. Obviously also be looking out for any words from like greater information from the rest of the plateau, the rest of the Atruaghin lands, including the Melfini Swamp.
Well, Drachma's, I don't know if it's the right word, hopefully it's not an offensive one, pontificating as he normally does. Calcrix is bouncing up and down going, fire giants. Fire giants. What about the fire giants? The fire giants are being manipulated. They're being enslaved. We should probably ask about the fire giants. Not the fire giants. There are other things to do.
I feel like she has something to say about fire giants.
I think there's something going on with the fire giants.
Cool. Let's go and check on the gnomes then.
It doesn't have to be the fire giants, but she's very aware that they've been neglected for 6 Redrian updates now.
Yes.
And
so
Calcrix
probably
can't ignore people in need.
we
and
need
she
to do
can't
something about
ignore
it.
slavery, and she suspects that both are happening.
Well, you have learnt that the giants have a hive mind in their communities, and
Right.
that the dragons forced them to no longer make communities as a pact they made with the storm giants.
Oh,
The storm giants
That's
have gone
very rude.
missing.
Because the giants helped kill the dragon gods, the previous
The old
generation.
ones.
right.
My mum and dad, I do not hold this against them.
So that there are lots of reasons why things have happened.
Mm.
And so dragons and giants have a bit of an animosity towards each other.
Calcrix may have to consider a different shape, though. Or at least maybe getting herself painted red.
I can do that for you, sure.
Oh, I got an heap.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gotta keep her busy somehow.
Definitely true.
You give her a crayon. I'll take a little.
You've got Redrian stuff, don't you, Lil?
Yes. So we'll find somewhere quiet.
Mhm.
We'll make
So
somewhere
that-
quiet.
There is a very quiet place. Unfortunately, you can't hear using the staff if you use it.
It's,
Otherwise, it's a
Yes.
bang.
That's why we need a
Bang.
place that's, yes. Yes. So we need a place that holds the giant noise, the dragon noise outside, but we can still hear. Not easy.
Well, they do have some excavated places on top of Atruaghin's palace that you can pretty much close over and shut
That
out
would-
most of the noise.
That's not blasphemy, though, is it?
No.
Just if you sleep there.
Okay.
Well, good news.
Yes.
I think I'm fine.
Yes. Not if Drachnum is there.
Lani's
So he's-
not breaking that rule anytime soon.
Yeah.
No.
You can just walk around like slap people awake.
Yeah. See, this is my job now.
I would just open the door and let the noise in.
I feel like you should have a glove that you can slap them with.
The wake up glove?
Just as long as it's not the Bugs Bunny version with the horseshoes in it.
I know, right?
I did hear of someone who made a glove of challenging. You challenge someone, you slap them, and the magic in the glove knocks them back 10 feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
okay.
Which is just funny.
Yeah. I feel like this is something I can get at the ice store.
Yes. They have a store that will sell magical items. You literally get what you buy.
This is how I got
Not
my
what
cool
you pay
cape. I
for.
said, I want a really cool cape.
Yeah.
And they gave me a cape of cooling.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. You
It was
get
helpful
what
because
they
we were
give
going
you,
to the
not
desert.
what you ask for.
yeah.
So we did have someone who says he just wants a heavy crossbow.
You got one made of lead.
No, he got a short bow with 2 big rocks dangling off it that were heavy, and it was yelling insults at him.
Of course, because it's got truck nuts.
And he was very confused for a while until I said it's a heavy crossbow.
It's a heavy crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he went to a magic store and asked for a non-magical item. What was going to happen?
Yeah. And magic involves grammar and careful word
It's
use.
very pedantic magic.
Yes.
You get the word wrong and everything goes wrong.
Just ask any wizard with singed hair. Or in your case, singed scale.
So yes, you find a nice place to contact Redrian, and you manage to get hold of him. You do find out from Redrian pretty quickly that a lot of things have been happening in your absence. It seems that the Karamikians are preparing to join Darrakan in the war. They're just requiring the halflings of the Five Shires not to take advantage of their soldiers leaving the area.
Yes.
And at the moment, that's been addressed by one of the groups in trying to get one of the halflings' relics back that they would have gone to war over to get back,
That's fair.
as it was a figurehead of one of their dread pirate ships. And they managed to get the former dread pirate cook to help them along the way. He used to be a dread pirate, now he's just the cook.
Well, everyone needs a cook.
Yes, especially a halfling cook.
He has recipes on how to cook various things.
Including lizard, reptile folk. And dragonborn. And lizard folk.
Well, he's got a book on cooking dwarves, on cooking halflings, on cooking elves. Not 4 elves, on cooking elves.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't mess with halflings in this one. You take them
No.
very seriously.
We have met a halfling cook who still acts as a ninja.
That is him who's just joined the
Oh.
Wednesday group as
Right.
giving them advice.
Fun.
I've met him a couple of times.
Yeah. An assassin. And cook. And he likes our taste. We
Okay,
appreciate
to be
his
fair,
food. Yes.
with Lonnie's cooking, she was exposed to halfling cooking.
That is actually true.
So
So you served a spice with food in it.
Everyone needs a hobby.
I wasn't paying attention
Well,
that much.
Normally she's a good cook.
Yeah.
Well, what's your skill?
What's this thing called skill?
Was that the
Did you say the
Well, be
relic was a pirate ship?
It was the figurehead of a pirate ship.
No, you just because it's
Okay, got it. Just
a
ran
tool
away.
use.
Oh,
It's just a
I haven't
stat
learned
check.
I haven't learned cooking.
Oh, right.
That's one of the skills I haven't.
Yeah.
And
right, so you're cooking with no skill with the actual tools.
and
Aside,
We're definitely not letting you cook.
No.
Fine. Burn.
what was the question?
cooking aside, was there other things from Redring?
Well, the figurehead in question may allow the halflings to take their ships out of the water.
Oh, okay.
Which might allow them to come to Darrakan too, because apparently Karamikos went to Darrakan, the 5 Shires would follow.
As long as they didn't attack the five Shires didn't attack Karamikos.
Yes.
So by giving them the relic that they would attack Karamikos for,
Which means we would have the 5 Shires and Karamikos next time we go back to war with Master.
and most of the pirate fleets of the world are at home in the Five Shires. Just about every pirate has served on a halfling ship at one point or another. It's better than being served on the ship.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, the join us will serve is a completely different phrase amongst them.
Yes.
I'm just excited there could be 2 extra armies next time I go to face the Master.
The Friday group has taken it upon themselves to convince the Norsemen to join the cause by going on a raid with them and showing their Vikingness to them.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when Calcrix goes away.
And so they have reported that apparently making sacrifices to the sea god is very much appropriate when the sea god has access to Kraken.
That sounds like a good plan.
And the people who refuse to make a sacrifice because these things just aren't important are no longer here with us.
Yes.
Yodri, right?
They find out they are wrong.
It wasn't Yodri, but Yodri did have recognition from the Lady Below.
Really? I'm surprised.
Apparently the Lady Below is a Kraken.
Oh.
That makes sense, actually.
Hmm.
Tentacles and everything.
It
Yeah.
explains why we're on speaking terms then.
And so yes, they should hopefully bring in some details about that, because there are some doomsday cults involved there about how it's going to be the end of the world. Of course, sure Drazzle can tell you how it's ended a couple of times now.
He's watched it, a couple of them.
So technically they're right from a certain point of view.
Yes.
Galantry still has the vampire lord fight going off in the northern area of it.
Right.
So you've got the 5 vampire lords fighting for dominance,
Yeah, I don't want to be there.
and each of the
No, we don't want to go there. We really don't want to go
and
there.
each of the vampire lords is technically a dark fae.
Yes.
Cal-
Because
Well,
Calcrix looks
technically
unusually
Galantry.
afraid.
And they've also learned that Galantry is a no-go zone at the moment because of information they've learned makes them targets so the gods protecting or assaulting it. At the moment, Galantry is the focus of the war, is that the biggest nation of spellcasters in the world wants to wipe out one of the smallest nations of spellcasters,
yeah.
and everyone who knows its name.
Yes.
Which is why we do not want to go to Glen.
Yes.
Admittedly, if we don't tell Nadar about what's really happening, Nadar could be represented in going to Landry.
Very true.
There's also the fact that I don't want to go to. Claude doesn't want to go to Glantry because if he goes in the border, a large number of very powerful wizards are going to turn his mind inside out to see what's in it.
Yeah.
Calcrix has her own
Something.
reasons.
Yes.
Oh, no.
A good part of the party do not want to go to Glantry.
Mm.
Apparently, none of the other characters can go to Landry because that would be your death or our
Yeah.
death.
Well,
But technically, Nadar hasn't been told that yet.
yes, but that's the thing.
Individual.
That's the thing. You guys all get killed. I get my brain turned inside out.
Oh no, I won't get killed.
No, you get used for food.
No, I'll get hunted down by vampires because I have things I want.
Yes, then used for food.
I think at this stage, it's just whoever gets to you first.
Yes.
For you, it's gonna be vampires.
Yeah.
It's a big circle on everyone's back if they go there.
Yeah.
Then in the Kingdom of Arendi, they are now digging up all the ancient relics of warfare that they have hidden away over the centuries.
Yeah, that's
everyone's
not
doing
good.
that.
Yeah, but
well,
these ones will kill dragons.
no one's really seen what the Mackay hid because no one ever got to see them, and their tales never told of them.
Very carefully so.
They were very careful to hide them all away.
Yes.
And as they have a chance to deal with time, there's a good chance that they can affect a civilization or mess with someone's timeline.
Yes, let's not do that.
They do think of messing with time to be quite a horrific thing to have to do, but that doesn't stop them from having to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I do it very gently.
But hey, the fact that they're now the equivalent of looting the tombs of their ancestors.
Well, keeping them with the ancestors and the ancestral guards is a good way to keep them safe.
The issue is they have to convince the ancestors to let them go.
Yes.
Hopefully they
Just
don't have
ask
any luck
pretty,
with
pretty,
that.
please.
Yes. That hopefully the ancestor understands.
Yeah.
No, I'm hoping that does not happen.
Yes.
I want to keep
I
this
know.
down.
We need to mess up a god of darkness. Oh, sorry, an incipient god of darkness to stop him becoming one. They'll probably say yes. At least some of them will.
Well.
Especially if he's the one who killed them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually a really good recruitment tactic. Go for the ones that were killed by the master.
Yeah, Crystal doesn't want to see these artifacts pulled out.
Well, no, that's fair.
And in Ethinger, you found out that they have been gearing for war with the Haldanic territories, which is the area to the north. Apparently, Chauvel spent a lot of his time with them. Because when time changed, the Friday group got split up completely.
Oh.
They didn't all travel together.
Ah.
So they now have two timelines, one where they worked to a common goal, and one where they went their separate ways.
It's not my fault.
That's
I'll
what you
be everywhere at once. I'm not a time reaper.
I didn't do this. I'm not involved as far as I know.
So basically,
I am time reaper.
looks like a holy crusade of basically attack the infidel style combat is going to go on one of the people protecting this region from the Elfatians. So the Ethengarians are going to throw a spanner in the things that's keeping you guys safe. Then you
Sounds like maybe that should be the thing we should deal with.
Friday's group's the only one who has a chance because they actually have authority.
Right.
Whereas anyone else walking in is perceived as the infidel that their targets are.
Yeah.
Because someone else telling them what to do instead of someone trying to advise in the culture.
I'll
Yeah.
show them infidel. I'll throw eat at them.
So besides that, we do have the war between the dwarves and the fire giants. Fire giants appear to be winning majority of the war, but all dwarves have returned home. Dwarves aren't children anyway. So dwarven children were kicked out of the country from the age of 30 to 50 because, well, that's their equivalent of spring break. Go mess with the other races.
So they did.
And so most dwarves you find adventuring are children. Teenagers. Yes, it is a shuddering thing to think about.
That's, yes, which would explain why a lot of dwarves are the way they are. Because it's a teenager with no parents around and some booze.
And no authority figure that tells them not to.
Exactly.
And so when they turn to the age of 50, they're expected to return home, settle down, and do a trade.
And learn how to adult after they get back. That's just a really bad plan.
Well, they give them money to go off and spend their life that way.
That's true.
It's not like that they're just cut off completely.
Type deal.
And then by the time they return home, they should hopefully have figured out that drinking excessively doesn't actually work out well. And if they don't return home, well, it was never meant to be.
I'm getting some Amish vibes.
It's very, I was gonna say, it's very honest from
That's
Springer.
exactly how they do it and exactly why they do it.
Mm.
Because the ones that come back are going to be the ones that settle down.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And I've tried to style each storyline for each race to represent their beliefs instead of just saying everyone's the same.
Yeah.
In Yalarum, they are doing the equivalent of Raiders of the Lost Ark. They are looking for relics all over the desert that will probably unbalance the world.
Yeah, everyone's doing
Because apparently there's a lot of lamps of wishes that have started turning up.
that. Oh dear.
Ooh.
Right, so basically we've got a timeline, or we've got a time limit to save the world. We've got to save the world before any of these people get to use their toys.
Well, the thing is, a wish never goes the way you want it to.
I know.
And most people who make a wish end up being killed by their wish.
Yes, but there's a lot of collateral damage usually involved.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, because no matter what it looks like, when you get a wish in this world, it's from a demon.
Yeah, that would make
Bad.
sense.
And if a wizard ever casts wish, they're calling on a demon to do it for them.
Yes. Yes. So the only way
I
you want
trust you here. Do this.
Yes. So the only way you want
Could
to
never go wrong.
the only way you want to do something like that is you go and get a cleric to cast miracle.
And then it has to meet the guidelines of the god they serve.
Exactly. But it's a lot safer than using a wish from anybody for any possible purpose.
Depends. If you're a gnomish lawyer and able to write a contract wish within 25 words, maybe.
The 25-word limit really makes any contract you make null and void.
Mm.
That's why they did it that way.
I'm not
Yes.
I'm not a gnome lawyer. I do not have that legal knowledge. I am not making a wish.
Okay, so there are groups of giants who
Yes.
aren't under the control of their matrons.
Yep.
So they're the equivalent of kids on spring break.
Oh.
So are we talking rampaging giants?
Giants who don't seem to have a focus or self-control.
Right.
Having learnt they're strong in numbers,
They're using it.
yes. As previously they weren't allowed to form in groups larger than 10.
Yes. And we're finding out for bloody good reason.
And there is still a active portal to somewhere back in time in Drazel's home.
In Drazel's home?
Mm-hmm. He has a home on the east coast of the continent, north of the Haldanic territories.
Should we be closing that?
If it were closable, I think Drazel would have done something about it.
Plus,
Maybe Drazel's not allowed to be the one to do it.
Or it's how he does things.
there's also a chance that closing it stops all time travel.
Ah.
Calgrix will ask all of those questions of Drazel. See if he answers any one of them, or shows her any pictures.
He doesn't show any pictures, but he does say it's open for a reason.
Okay, that's enough.
Not a good reason, but it's open for a reason.
Look, she's just gonna take it. If he says it's open for a reason, she's just gonna stop listening at that point, because anything beyond that point is gonna confuse her, and she does not like being confused.
It does say that it is currently linked to Blackmore.
Okay.
Okay, bad stuff. Okay, so have a look in Messenger.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's all the updates that.
That's all the updates he's got to give you at this stage. There is groups have achieved a lot. So you have gotten a bunch of disempowered elves who were left behind by the nobility of the Elven Forest.
Yeah.
Apparently the nobles up and left the rest of the common people behind to fend for themselves. And so the common leader willingly worked with Lowell to band them together and throw a spanner in the works of the nobility by breaking their toys.
Yes. And got them together, which means their survivability has just gone up about 5 or 6 times.
Except they're about to head to war.
Yes, but they're going to survive long enough to actually do that and be useful. Okay, they may not necessarily all come back, but some will, and they may have survived where they wouldn't have done otherwise.
And the Shadow Elves are deep in undermining the governmental structures of Alfheim.
Yes, and that's nothing I can do anything with because my diplomatic skills are being used elsewhere, blowing things up.
And the elves and the Shadow Elves have a fundamental disagreement in their ideology.
I know.
So for Naomi's purposes,
Yes.
I
was working on fixing that.
The Shadow Elves believe in technology to fix problems, and the other elves believe that technology is the root of all evil.
Okay.
Because their God witnessed technology almost destroy the world before it became God.
Okay.
So he taught all his followers that evil was the root. That evil is found in technology advancement, and that's the main beef elves have with dwarves.
Okay, I can see it.
The dwarves don't understand. They just think they're picking on them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. And it's just because one god has an issue. And a bunch of other people agree with him.
It's a valid issue,
And
but it's unlikely to happen.
It's a valid issue that's incorrectly formed.
I didn't say that the gods are infallible. The gods are completely fallible.
Yeah, he's given an emotional reaction, and he's working all his stuff around that as a big point of order.
And he created the Tree of Life as a way to save all the elves.
Yes.
And now someone's trying to turn that into a way to wipe out all the elves.
Yes.
Seems like the obvious thing to do. And
If you're a bad guy.
Sorry? What was that?
If you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Which he is.
The bad guy is a matter of perspective. All bad guys, they're doing a good thing.
Yes. But the perspective there is them and everyone else. So their opinion is minority by a long shot.
Well, all his servants agree with him.
Only because they're told to.
Or they're
They don't have free will.
No, they don't. Which means they're not his servants, they're his...
There is minions.
Yes.
Out of that list of things, you
Millions
said some
of
of those have
slaves
been
and
taken
tools.
care of by the Saffron groups.
Mm-hmm.
So Karanikos and the Five Shires were Wednesday's route.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Friday was convincing the Norsemen to do their thing.
Yeah.
The Glantry Civil War, we all decided we were going to touch no matter what.
And besides, it's very hard to influence a bunch of Fae to do something
Yeah.
unless you got Ape involved.
And then you had Erendi.
Where, like,
Which you're closest to.
Yeah, but we're closest to
That is the
currently.
closest nation you are to.
Yeah. So we could do something there.
And that's the one where they have the capacity of meddling with timelines.
Yeah.
But we also have
Ethinger,
Yalarum, where they're doing a similar thing, but to a lesser extent.
Though Lowell has trouble in Yalarum, so
Sorry?
Yeah.
Lowell will have trouble in Yalarum.
Okay, so...
A bit.
Because you know Missy?
That's one of it.
Yeah.
He has forbidden knowledge for that nation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, those
And
books I've got. Yeah.
I gather
You
we're
read them,
not
you'd have the same
too
issues.
worried that Ethinger would deal with other territories.
God knows.
You're-
Warring. Sorry.
You're expecting Friday to deal with Yalarum and Ethinger.
Okay, yep.
So
Okay.
realistically, we got the Rampaging giants,
I
Mm.
thought it was going to be interesting.
the weapons in Arendi, or the portal
And there was the
And,
fire
yeah.
giants.
So the time portal is something you guys can do. The Arendi is something you guys can do because basically Lani has authority.
Yeah.
In Rockholm, Lowell has a token allowing you to enter Rockholm even though the borders are closed.
So that would be the fire giant. Walker.
Yeah. Because you were given that by the King of Rockholm before he shut the borders. Because you were doing a task for him that you took 2 years to do.
Sorry. Took us a little while.
Just because you took 2 years doesn't mean it was done at the wrong time.
True.
And plus, in dwarven speed, I guess we got it done with relative enough time.
And there's also the fact that there are demons rampaging through the Shadowlands.
It's only a little bit of a problem.
And it's
Sorry.
fixable.
Sounds like a problem for later.
Except you think some of them are the actual Immortals themselves.
Oh.
Problem for later.
They did mention that Demogorgon was down there as well as some of the others.
Yeah, we've got names.
That's
Yeah,
not
we
something
have all
we're going to deal
names.
with.
And they are literally gods, not just demon lords.
Yeah.
We're not going to mess with them right now.
We're going to wait till what, level 13 at least?
Maybe just beyond that.
Just a little bit beyond
A
that.
little bit beyond that.
A little bit.
Like level 10 or 12 immortal. Then as
Yeah.
a team, we could probably deal with one.
I presume we're going to wait till we're at least leveled up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
we have to get
If there's time.
we have
Why-
to get to 36 to go for immortal.
While you're still mortal, they have rules they have to follow.
That's a good point.
Once
They
you're an
don't-
immortal, they don't have rules they have to follow.
Yeah. Well, they sort of do, but they don't.
Not
obey-
against
they,
other immortals.
They don't obey them. Yeah.
I gather with the portal.
Their statement of might is right when you're an immortal.
Yes.
Depends on how many other gods you've got on your side willing to fight for you.
That was all about might. If you had the bigger stick, then the other one has to back down.
Yes.
Valkyx is going to wait until she can call on her parents. And then maybe her grandparents. And then her great-grandparents. And then once she can call on all of those, then she might consider facing other immortals.
Well, they did say that the war that's happening now all started because the T-Rex god said no to the sun god.
Yes.
Is that why the T-Rex god is helping us?
Pretty much.
And the cliques of gods are beating up on each other and working against each other. And some of them are members of multiple cliques.
So we
You
just
want to know why
pull
this
and
is
keep
confusing?
and
It's
walk
because there's
around
too many
and
gods. That's really what this comes down to.
There are
Yeah.
180 of them.
To
That's
bring
too
it-
many.
And they have
lot.
600 names for that 180 of them.
Yes.
To
No.
bring it down to less overwhelming things, we've got
So
Arendi,
grind some up and use them for considerable
Rockholm,
And-
Rampaging
Giants
Giants,
and Blackmore.
and then Blackmore.
Let's go grab a drink.
So I would say, like, realistically, we just did something for Lonnie, so I don't mind getting other people's opinions about what they believe is more pressing at this time.
Well,
Because, you know what?
Yes.
I got my crown, and I'm still kind of processing everything that happened. So,
Yes.
as lovely as it would be to go to Arendi, she would definitely love that and see what's going on there, because there can be stuff that can be helpful. I don't mind doing something else.
there's
It's
three
finding
reasons
other things.
why Calcrix has been watching what the Fire Giants are doing. One, the more of them that get together, the harder they fight, and she's got the experience with the Hill Giants. The Hill Giants, now that they're neutral because of Friday night's work, they aren't nearly as dangerous. But before they were neutral, they were all very easily going to go to the Master side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fire Giants are likely being manipulated by the Master, or will soon be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the more and more of them they gather, the worse it's going to be. If we can get them on our side, then they will fight for us.
Yes.
And there's also the option of finding the Storm Giants.
True.
Yes,
Because if a
Because they're still
storm...
missing, aren't
If
they?
they come back,
yes.
But they... You also got told that the crown of the storm giants was broken, which is why the giants can now congregate.
So
So Lani needs to find another crown. I'm going to tell her.
yeah.
Lonnie, the crown preparer. Like, Lonnie's crown preparer.
Yeah, from my memory of the sort of level range and storm giants, that sort of thing is well out of our level range right at the moment.
But we can.
Unless we can do something about it that doesn't involve fighting at that sort of
No,
level.
we can diplomatize with them. We
Okay.
diplomatize with the hill giants very well. When I was talking to Martin outside again about it, he said the Tuesday group is best positioned for it because of our accessibility to rock home.
Yeah.
And because you're the pretty boy to oversee.
Yeah.
And then we've got the chief of chiefs.
The Lani with the Slayer of Fire Giants would really cause a bit of a stir.
I wouldn't say that title. I've been able once to use.
She only needs to use one title from now on, Time Reader. That's
Yeah.
it.
That was a little crazy too.
Yeah, if we want to sort of overshadow any other possible epithet you have, that one's a good one.
That's gonna be one that we're gonna just like.
Lonnie,
you know.
Yeah.
Does Dragna have a point of view on where we should go and what our priorities should be?
Trying to find out from the bits of crown and how to repair it.
I was gonna say that's more of a later thing we need to do with the fire giants first.
Yes.
Are you there, Jeremy?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, Ariadne asked you a question and said, what opinion did you have on what we should be doing?
Well, so I'm looking at the fact that the Orendian situation is the one that is least being affected by other veteran teams at the moment.
No one's done anything about the 3 giant problems for
A long time.
A while.
six times we've gone through missions that we could do, and the giants have been ignored for every single one of them, and that's just the Tuesday group. It's the same in the Friday group, which is why it keeps coming up.
The main reason I looked at that is because the giants is more of a Karamika issue, and therefore would lean towards the Wednesday group.
Not the Rocco giants.
I can't just say the Wednesday group has done anything about it, but that's part of the reason why the rest of the groups have been leaving alone, from my understanding.
As far as I know from Martin, no one else but Tuesday group can get through to the fire giants. Because only Lul has that access to rock home.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be definitely something to aim at.
And getting through to there, you also have a chance of getting through to the Stone Giants.
Good point.
And to the Frost Giants.
And look,
Which
if
means
we
getting
end
all
up
the giants
tabling
on
it
that side.
for a different thing, that's fine too. I'm just making the point that out of all of the missions that are neglected, the giants are the most neglected.
Okay, so let's go.
However, the other problem with us being going to the giants is dragons and giants are not the ideal bedfellows.
Karax has set precedent now, though, that she is friend of the hill giants.
Yeah, we'll have to lean on that, but it should work. Plus, I can make nice anyway.
I did get a thing off the leader of the hill giants, the female. I think she was like a shaman type.
Matron.
Matron. That's it. So I have a you're our friend. We made friends.
She's very much like a queen bee. She has complete control over all of the hill giants in her domain.
So
She doesn't control them like puppets. He just stops them from rampaging and educates them.
Like I was gonna say, I can prove that we're friends with one set of giants. And if you're not in dragon form, then it's just one dragon that has to make friends with the giants.
And you can take human form.
Certainly, Jack Nimmer's got no concern. But as such, just the aspect of, well, yeah.
Yeah. I do like
Dragons are not the best bet to look, but if Celtic has already effectively dealt with giants,
Yeah.
then that removes major concern. So,
Yeah.
Well, as I said, if you guys think that the
Agree with that.
timeline problem in Erendi needs to come first, I'm happy to concede to that. I
No,
just don't want the giants to be involved.
in a lot of ways, Dracula would prefer to deal with the dragon,
Yeah.
sorry, the giant,
Giant.
because technically they're a force that is more easily incorporated into a potential land army against the master.
Mm,
The
Yeah.
Erendi are fine fighters, but they're a naval force.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
I like the idea of the visual of Claw stepping towards one of the giants and ending up 30 feet tall because of his cloak.
It would help. Okay, so
and
Yeah.
it would certainly not make the giant play outside then master side like
Not quite.
the various humanoid bases from the Broken Lands.
okay, I will give Luell a history check because there is an important bit of information he may have read through some of his books.
I
was gonna
have
say,
read through all of the
even
books.
though
with
you're
them.
new, you do get to have an opinion.
You do have an opinion, and it is valid because now you're the court wizard advisor.
And you can see something we don't see.
Yes. Where is
I would agree with Calcrix. Mostly because no one has shown me this much kindness
Oh,
in quite some
yeah,
time.
that works. She
And-
does that all the time.
Yes.
And she seems very, very set on
Passionate.
wanting to help
Is
these
this
guys.
does this cover legends?
It does cover legends, yes.
Brilliance. Now having a specialization that gives me advantage, doesn't it?
Specialization gives you a
Expertise dice.
expertise dice, and if you've already got expertise, it upgrades it to the next dice.
Yes. So I'm using that.
Okay.
All the dice. I thought there was going to be no dice rolled this game.
Well, it is the
Feel like
bridging
it.
one between one story and the next,
Wait a
and
minute. Challenge
Yeah.
accepted, says the GM.
Yeah, 32.
32. Okay, so remembering some of the stuff you've read through
Yeah.
is that the crown of the storm giants actually kept all the storm giant matrons in suspension. So none of the giants could congregate, and all their relics were shut down completely. So
Calcrix is actually against putting the matrix
the
to
crown
sleep.
was a form of enslavement,
Yeah.
Oh.
Crown
where the
oh,
other giants were unable to act against the storm giants in any way, shape, or form.
Right. So.
It was created by the dragons as a form of punishment.
Right.
So we don't want to fix this
And
crown.
Calcrix has promised
what we
that
want
if
to do is make sure it never gets recreated.
Yeah.
'Cause someone's going to try.
she promised the matron of the hill giant that were she to come across any part of the crown, she would ensure that it was not put back together because she believes in whatever that word is for people who autonomy. I
Yeah,
guess.
autonomy.
Yeah,
Which
autonomy.
means that the matrons have all woken up who were powerful enough to challenge the previous dragon gods.
Oh, fun.
That said, Calcrix also has an
They're
idea
the
what
people
storm
in
giants
charge of all
are.
the giant communities.
Right. So if we help them, maybe they can persuade us to help us elsewhere.
Yep.
But they've awoken trying to figure out what the world has changed. Last time they were
That's-
awake, the other humanoids were simply their cattle.
And that's something that we can help them with in detail and in depth, including you if you've got the history skill.
Hold for double checking.
Yeah. Well, once Martin helps you with your accumulated 12 levels of downtimes, yeah, you're going to end up with history.
And I'm getting the magical items sorted out first.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
halfway
yeah.
through
That's fine.
Friday's group. I've done I've done all of Friday's group. I'm halfway through Tuesday's group,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then because I'm going Y, F, then T, then W.
Yeah.
Because that's logical. Sure.
Yeah, downtimes allow you to learn extra skills. So.
And magic.
And
And you
magic
can
and a
basically
bunch of-
become a spellcaster that others would envy.
Yeah, oh yes.
I was
You
gonna
can
say
pretty much
with,
break the rules as far as every other game would be concerned.
Yeah.
With the way
Um,
Level Up plays all characters and wizards, it makes you like super powerful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then the house rule that Martin's using for PCs makes you even more powerful again.
The idea is
So,
a
for
PC
example-
is a hero, and you
Yeah.
need to be able to shut down a combat in 2 to 3 rounds at most.
Yeah. Including against other people with actual classes. So, for example, all of the bolded ones, they're all learned skills.
Okay.
So I have normally you'd have like 4.
Yeah.
So I've got a bunch.
Whereas
Plus getting expertise. So that's basically learning the same skill again.
Okay.
So
Whereas
So you can
since
do that sort of thing.
I'm a human, humans can learn faster. During all of my downtime in the 12 years I've been adventuring, apparently, I've learned all the skills, and so
yes.
I'm good at everything and getting double good at other stuff.
Yes. She just doesn't have the stats that other people might do, but
Yeah.
having the expertise makes up for it.
Yeah, my base stats are lower, but
Yeah.
I build expertise.
Yes.
And now that she'll have a long time to deal with having all this knowledge.
Now I have to I'm gonna learn how to. You know what? That base, what my dump stat is, my
So-
intelligence. That's
Yeah.
going up.
Yes. So you're also going to end up with things like expertise in some of your skills like 3 and 4 times.
Eventually,
Can you imagine rolling 2 d20s
that's
and
great.
then rolling with advantage?
That'd be insane. We're not quite at that stage yet. I still have
No,
quite a few I have to
that's-
still pick up, like cooking.
That's never done. Cooking. I'm going to teach you cooking.
But never know, it might be the next person she absorbs was learn to be a cook.
That's a hell of a way to use your downtimes. I have
Eat
learnt
your
from my
great
own
cook.
memories
There you go.
What was
how to
that?
use this skill.
Eve thinks Lani's a great cook.
Yeah, but
Because Eep tastes emotions, not food.
yes.
And I poured
That's
in
slightly
all my
terrifying.
love.
Yes.
She's a time reaper.
The
So-
only thing you
Lonnie's
They-
a little bit afraid of Eve. Eve
They
would
did
scare
find
her
out that
sometimes.
if Eep takes on the shape of something, it's because Eep's eating it as it's on that shape. That's how it eats.
Mm-hmm.
So occasionally she turns up looking like a demon.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she mimicked the shape of the fairy dragon when it was about to eat the fairy dragon.
Yes.
So it looks like the fairy dragon shadow for a while before it would consume it.
She never ate the fairy dragon.
Getting close.
There was a very stern lecture at which the plant stared, or not stared, followed Calcrix's waving talon
Mm-hmm.
as Calcrix gave her a stern talking to. And then Calcrix gave up and just said, party members are friends, not food.
Well, because it was important to Calcrex, I went, you'll eat them later.
I mean,
As soon as they're not a
Compromise.
party member, they're game.
So the moment they retire from adventuring,
On
Their
that
dinner.
note, at some point, Calcrix said, eat party member.
yeah,
No eating.
No eating.
You know, He's eventually going to say back, there's too many parties.
yes. We didn't tell you why that happened, but
Too
we did
many
tell you it was
times.
important.
Too many parties, not enough party food.
Yeah. No, I think we're well supplied.
Okay, so. Looks like you're getting yourself set to travel to Rockholm.
Rocco.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
It may actually be quicker to go via Irendi than to go any other way.
That
I suppose we
is
can
about
chase
right.
down a
Yes.
time.
But between here and any other portal is literally passing through contested territory.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Where
Yes.
we are right now.
So we could do both?
We don't want to go through contested territory at all.
No,
So-
I mean,
But
we
we
could
can
go to
like-
a Randy.
I was gonna say we can mostly
Yeah.
like, check in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Do some initial
checking all the way
investigation
through.
before moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically take an extra couple of
Because
days.
Medrian haven't actually shut down the entire network, except any portals that are in
Then in
potential.
contested areas. Yeah.
He shut
Okay.
down everything in Darrakan, and that includes 5 Shires and Alfheim.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
makes sense.
Yep.
But then, does that also, like, 'cause previously we had to all go through, like, Darrakan was the base portal, that you had to go through Darrakan anywhere you were going to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, if you want to go from Alpine to Karamikos, you had to go via Darrakan, because that was the primary portal.
Yeah.
You believe that there are limited use you can go to the other locations, but they may be shutting down over time depending on if the Master is pushed back or defeated.
Okay. Well, and obviously, it was more than happy to, particularly if the arcade experts indicate that, oh, well, yep, Redrin should be able to provide access for some areas. That's fine, because otherwise, it's a back to the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have to travel down to Rendy.
Okay. So basically, they're in this area up here at the moment. So this is the Darrakan region, and the place that they were told is down on this island.
Sorry.
So they got this island down here is where they were told that they can get to the access to the portal network again. There was a portal here. There was a portal here, 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 all the way over here, and in here. But all those ones got shut down because they were too close to the Master.
So, where in that bottom left hand?
It'll be roughly where the mouse pointer is, and you're currently over there.
So we've got to get to where the mouse pointer was
Mhm.
to use the portal to get to Brockholm.
And that will get you all the way to roughly about there.
Okay, so that's a bit of travel.
Well, there's no easy way to go overland.
No, I know. That's okay. I'm just wondering how long it'll take us just to get to the portal.
Probably
Yeah.
like not even probably a week.
And there's also news of Black Knight of Karamikos making an appearance with Bargle on the border of the Fire Shires.
The Dark
Ooh.
Knight.
The Black Knight of
The
Karamikos.
Black Knight.
hmm
Carpricks are
Right, Reggie's got it in hand.
Which is a historical boogeyman of the people there.
Okay.
Basically, someone who wipes out oppressors, where no matter what race they are and whatever reason they're oppressing, they could be oppressing a plague of creatures and still be considered an oppressor.
Carpricks asked Razzle if he's got any pictures
Like
of
that
that particular Black Knight.
He does not.
Okay.
Oh, what history is the fact that if the Black Knight was active in the border with Shivkais and Kalamenkos,
Yep.
then there's part of the question of, hang on, who's controlling his forces during the 5-way war in Galadriel between the undead?
He's not one of the Fey Lords.
He's not a Fey Lord. Where is Friday Group at the moment? What country are they?
Friday group all the way over here on Ostland.
And so they're nowhere near Karamikos and the Fire Shires?
Nope.
Okay. Well, technically that gives Anton an alibi.
One of them has been told he'll become the Black Knight.
Oh.
Oh.
And he's destined to kill Drezel. Or be killed by Drezel.
Or possibly both.
Okay.
Depending on the
Timelines
timeline
can
that's
be
already
changed.
happened.
Timelines can be changed.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't really want to be the, that person. It's like, well, there is a choice.
You can have somebody else kill Drazzle and you won't be there to help.
And his patron caused him to do a massacre that has him an outcast.
Oh. Yeah.
So his patron is definitely not a nice patron, and he doesn't know his patron's name because he was told if he ever learns his patron's name, he loses free will.
Oh. Okay,
Martin?
that may be a lie, but it's
Yep.
a hell of a thing to do.
Just confirming where we are at the moment, because my memories are that the Atruaghin Palace was not actually on the plateau. It was down in the southern area with the Tiger Clan.
Yes.
Basically,
I
where it said
shall-
clans that's on the map.
I will show you
In
a
that sort of
close
area?
up of it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan clans. This is the map I want.
It is.
Okay.
It is right at the bottom of this.
You've
almost
got.
little centre. It's right there. Just above the end.
So it's roughly where that.
Yeah, okay, so it's like, so it's not actually on the plateau, so
No.
It's
Yeah.
the border between the three main clans,
yeah.
which
So
is amusing
the
that there are
advantage
two
is that
clans.
obviously it's
who
a lot
are-
easier to get down to get there. So we don't have to get down from the plateau
No.
No, thank
Yeah.
to actually get.
Yes.
But that side is the
This
lowest
is a big
half
didn't
of
go
the
up there.
plateau with a
Plateau was created
passable
to keep them
path.
away from everybody else.
Yeah. So I guess yes, it comes down to whether or not it's going to be faster to try and go due south to end up in a random point on the bay there, or whether we're better off going easterly to get to the river and taking a river craft down to the
Like down
bay.
the swamp area.
You would have to get to Athenos to be able to get a boat because Port Tenendar has pretty much been overrun by the Atruaghin clans and no longer serves as a seaport.
But it's the sort of thing that I would have expected that the facilities are still there, even if it's not actually regularly serviced, and then it becomes a case of trying to get a message through to call for a ship that I'm guessing Lani has access to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can get us any
But
ride on
they
any
wouldn't
boat,
come
but,
there
like,
because
it's-
of the Tiger Clan.
Yeah, no, Tiger Clan. You would Tiger Clan would be Dracon's thing to negotiate. Any other port, any other ship, I can get us a ride, but it's if it's Tiger Clan, that's not.
Okay. I'm just looking at where the easiest place to try and get hold of a ship will be.
Easiest place to get a ship is Athenos or go via the Turtle Tribe.
Yeah.
The Turtle Tribe will quite happily get you to the islands.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, happy with that then.
Riding turtles across. the
No,
map?
they actually
Or we
have.
could call on some of your own people.
They're very close to the Mackay in how they do stuff, except
Yeah.
they're more traditional. So
Yes.
imagine if the Mackay didn't advance their ships.
Yeah.
That's the sort of ships they still have. They use Islander-style ships.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're quite adept at ocean travel.
That's a kilometre up.
That's so cool.
Yes. You're on
So,
top.
from your perspective, Jeremy, the Children of the Turtle would be the easiest way to get there.
That's gonna be the fastest.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
Also helps that there is a dragon city hidden there as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's where Drazzle grew up.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yes.
Nice.
A couple of us have been there. Yeah.
Well, but Dracula won't be taking them via any of the hidden cities, irrespective of whether they've been there before.
Because the hidden cities have their own network.
Exactly.
And there
It was
is-
sort of the old weekend that, oh yeah, so we could go the under the plateau, under the land type taxes, but that's not really exactly what's taking the party.
No, what I was saying is the one on the coast, which you've been to before, when you first exited the Atruaghin's palace, has a portal that could take you to the Arendi Island. So instead of going by boat, you could literally use magic again.
I don't mind either way. I've just got to concentrate to do that.
Certainly, Dracula's apparent plan will be if it comes up in the discussion, would be to get to the coast and then we can get a ship through with the throttles.
Yeah.
If on the way or we decide that time's pressing, then maybe we can look at a portal option, but again, even though the party is aware of some of the secrets, does not make a point to reminding or informing people of any of those unreported secrets that outsiders don't need to know about.
Yeah.
Well, Nadal would know about them. So there is what is basically the water academy they have, where a lot of the blue dragons can be found, is on the actual bay there. And in Arendi they have a fire academy for the dragons.
Okay.
So they basically base their stuff around elements.
That's okay. Obviously, the double is not now Carter.
Caldrix also knows about these.
Yeah. I'm sure this stage has been studying quite a bit of Dragon Lore and stuff.
Well, you haven't actually been to the city where Druzzle grew up before.
No, I haven't been there. But I've been to...
You've been to the Air
Academy.
Yeah, the Air Academy, and in Friday's group I went to somewhere. I can't remember. I have to look it up.
But they have a water one here on the edge of the bay, and there's a fire one in Arendi. And I was just telling Jeremy that they have connections between the two.
There's a chance Calcrix may get sidetracked. You may have to keep an eye on that.
Well, it depends on if Calcrix wants to go through the effort of sitting on a boat and waiting for people to actually row her across the water, or just say, let's shortcut it. Because, if you shortcut it, you can help save the fire giants so much faster.
How many people know Calcrix and her capacity for patience?
Which is why I was suggesting it.
Well, but there's also the element of Calgary is aware that it is still secret knowledge.
But Nidar would, being a Dragonborn, would be able to know that.
And Nadal almost certainly already knows about it.
Lul is a dragonologist.
Learning to be a dragon.
Yes.
And Lani is
along for the ride,
along with all of us, and is in on all of the secrets that we're in on, just as we're in on all of her secrets.
Exactly.
Yes. In
So
fact,
I think
staying with us
we're
is the
okay.
safest thing to do.
Yeah.
And Father Pat, that would be the only one I guess isn't technically in the inner circle, but he's part of our party.
But he's not here at the moment, so technically he hasn't arrived yet. And
He hasn't been buzzed through
Yeah,
yet.
technically if we shortcut it there, then Drazzle will just draw him through, and then we don't have to let him know the secrets.
There you go.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yes.
Not like they haven't done that in the past.
Onwards.
Yeah, sure. Father Pat is also learning our secrets as well.
I was going to say, awkward secret keeping moment averted.
Yeah, he lost his mechanical leg when
We changed time.
Yeah, time got changed on him. And he was never gifted it in the first place.
AKA, I came back from holiday and Aaron needs to take a break out of game, so we just switched the characters out. So it works. Yeah.
It's almost the best way to deal with missing blades.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so we're heading towards, did you say it was water?
To the basically it's one of the water academies of the dragons.
Yep.
Well, it's better than for Calgary's perspective, less time wasted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it would literally take you 3 days to get there. I have to keep track of days because
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say,
important
that
when
would
I'm dealing
change
with
it
3
for-
different groups.
Yes.
I think we started on the 1st of the 5th. We were there for a few days sorting out. No, 15th of the 5th.
You'll reach the place on the 20th of the 5th.
Yep.
And from your perspective, it is basically a goat's trail down the side of a cliff face.
Mm-hmm. Long trail.
Mm-hmm. On a like 200 to 300 foot cliff.
It's fine.
This is the shallow side.
I was gonna say,
there's more
if
slope
we
on
make
it.
sounds like goats, can we pretend we're goats?
You can.
It's cow creeks and eat, bounce like goats.
And some of you even have polymorph and can potentially turn into goats.
Along the trails.
I can't turn you into a goat because polymorph's too high a level spell, but something to aim at.
And luckily that Draktamar doesn't have goat as one of his patrons, otherwise he could turn into a goat.
I can be as stubborn as a goat.
Sorry, just visualizing that.
That is too undignified for Draktamar.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so-
Have you seen some of the big male mountain goats?
Yeah, they are impressive,
They are
especially the
very
dwarven
impressive.
ones.
Yes.
So
Use them as mounts.
some of them have mounts with them. Druzzle has what looks like a Clydesdale, but you can tell he's actually a sea drake.
And you can see there are claw marks on
His
the
name
stone.
is Horse. Because he looks like a giant Clydesdale.
And it pulls a cart with which looks like sort of like the two-wheel carriage with the open front,
Oh, yeah.
but it has a huge iron door in the back that doesn't seem to lead anywhere.
Interesting.
And it's got lots of dragon motifs all over it.
Yeah, don't touch that door. It would be bad.
Don't
for
go
you.
through the door.
And you've seen that when Druzzle punishes people, he puts them through the door and sends them backwards.
Yes.
That
You've
I
never
had-
seen anyone who's gone through.
That reminds me, I had a bunch of
I
letters
asked
to
him
Drazzle.
and he didn't give a solid answer, but it sounds like far enough back that you're never going to come forward again.
Okay, interesting. Good to know.
Or,
Good to
or
know.
they have to learn the lessons of why he sent them, and if they don't, they never get out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's taking everything in me not to touch it. It's like a big red button.
exactly.
We still struggle with this statement.
He did send this group through the door once.
Yeah.
Yep.
He aimed it though that time.
Okay.
Doesn't say he doesn't aim for the others, but he went through with them.
Yeah.
The others, he just sent them on ahead.
They gotta figure it out themselves.
Okay, so yes, and with that, he has no problem sending this cart down this goat's trail either.
Okay.
Considering the Drake doesn't have to worry about things like roads.
No.
That's fair.
You can kind of do whatever.
And under a overhanging rock at the water's edge is basically the entrance to the Dragon City. And it looks like a city scaled for huge gargantuan creatures.
Well, yes. Big dragons.
And it looks like it would house maybe 10 to 20 of them.
It has this 10 to 20.
It would house 10 to 20 dragons,
And lots of little ones and dragonborn.
which for a dragon community is fairly large.
Yes.
For having that many gargantuan dragons in the area. Crazy.
But at the moment, there are none here.
Not even one. All in the Worm's Teeth
Yeah.
Mountains?
Yeah, I was gonna
All
say,
dragons
little
have been
circle.
recalled home. That would be all the chromatic and all the metallic.
Any books, library, writings, pictures, symbols?
While they do still have their portal here, so they can literally come and go as they please.
Right.
But Calcrix wants to do sketches and do a little map in her journal with everything she sees.
Well, you would see that there would be each of the dragons' home would literally have a horde inside it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? She doesn't want to raid the horde.
No, well, they'd sort of eat us if we did that, but
Well, you do know their magic literally does affect those who steal.
Yes.
And they will also affect the many generations of the thief's descendants.
Yes. And there's one spell that I have. It's actually a dragon spell, which I'm not going to use because it would give me a really bad headache.
And most of the dragon-blooded sorcerers come from curses of people stealing dragon's treasure.
I might
Makes sense.
I might regret this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to add a coin at the entrance. I'm not going to go in, cross thresholds. I'm just going to leave a coin, a good, really nice, decent value, coin at each dragon's entrance. As a kind of
Nice.
I know that
A gift from a small one.
the crystal dragons, gemstone dragons, don't think gifts are necessary, but she's honouring the etiquette of leaving a gift even though she didn't see the dragon.
And unlike the air temple that dealt mainly with curves, as it was more to do with a spiral passageway, a spiral staircase,
Yes.
curved rooms. This one is about being above and below. So it's almost like tiered everywhere, with some of the important stuff at the bottom of the tier, and some of the least important stuff at the top of the tier.
Sounds kind of fun.
As they are water dragons, the important stuff is in the deeps.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, this fellow I was thinking about is
Deeper you
detect
go, the more you
form.
learn.
I don't think we've got time to do too
There are
much.
20 of them around.
So, yeah, I don't think any of us exploring to the deeps anytime soon, but I'll make a note to come back later.
But Nadir, Calcrix, and Drazzle have each learned how to activate the Dragon's Portal network, because it requires dragon blood to do so.
And I can't fake that, can I? Okay.
Not yet. You were very close to doing it.
No, that's next circle dragonology.
You were very close to being able to do so, but you can activate the hatchery, and
That's
it can
true.
technically activate the portal,
Yeah.
but there would be a backlash.
Yeah, but in an absolute emergency, it's available.
Yeah, it's available.
Yeah.
You just know not to risk the wrath of the dragons, because you may destroy one of their hatcheries.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be very bad.
So the gnomes have a soul forge where they steal people's lives from. The dragons have a hatchery which they grow all of the dragons and dragonborn from, because it also gives them the knowledge. The dwarves have a forge of power, which they basically make all their magical stuff from. The elves have the tree of life, which they've connected most of their lives to. And the halflings have the black flame, which no one wants to know about.
No, we still don't want to know about it. So, are we diving through this portal?
Okay, so who wishes to activate the portal, because it will be an Arcana check?
But not me.
Your
It
job.
has to be one of us. I'm happy to, unless other people want
Well,
to.
We
Did
have
you want to roll your first?
Yep, we have a new person in the group. It's
Yeah,
show yourself as useful.
Yes,
Yep.
so.
What's the worst that can happen?
Prove yourself.
This is
So,
terrible thing.
Emma asked that.
Patrick goes,
Emma
I
asked that at this
volunteer, and then nudges the jar forward.
Oh dear.
Yes.
That's okay, Drazzle gets out his book and gets prepared to write and evaluate your usage.
Oh, great.
Whether you succeed or
Well,
not,
I
you'll
like
write the
it.
same things down.
While I'm getting images of Dark Trek and the take you out of the station in the first one. Whoop, you must take the handbrake off.
Or better yet, Galaxy Quest, where they scrape along the exit.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking it out of Starbase and just scrape out.
You're good.
No pressure to dump.
Good. You're good. You're good.
Oh, God.
This is a SpongeBob thing.
Though if you say that too much, your God will answer.
I know. Okay. Alright. Never done this before, so D20.
It's a D20.
What do I need to actually get?
Use the prettiest one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it helps to use the prettiest one.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright.
So high is generally good, low is generally bad.
Yep.
A 1 is generally causing some people concern, but it's always interesting.
At least for the GM.
Yeah.
Oh no, for a lot of players it is interesting too.
This
Oh,
is
so
how
she went right in the
I use
middle.
everything as a
10.
10. And what is your character's arcana? Okay, so it is one of your skills. You
Yep.
should have it as...
Forbidden knowledge.
Intelligence
Forbidden-
modifier plus.
Okay, so I will throw in
Proficiency.
a D... it's a D4 for the first of...
Yeah.
Yes, it's a D4.
Alright.
Yeah.
Other pretty dice. Come on. Actually,
Here.
no.
Use one of my cat ones.
Okay.
They have to go meow.
So you get to add
Yeah.
2 to it, so that makes it 12.
12.
You get to add your intellect, which is 5, which makes it 17.
And
Then you get
proficiency.
to add 4, which is your proficiency bonus, which then makes it 21.
Yay!
So lots of numbers.
Lots
Yes.
of numbers.
But
You get used to doing it over time. The
Yeah.
benefit of level up versus 5e is you can justify most attributes to most skills as long as you
Yeah.
can do it in a creative way.
Yeah.
So that means you could basically win an arm wrestle with intelligence if you can justify how you're using your intellect to undermine the other person.
yeah, you can use. I'm working out the right way to do a certain magical thing, wisdom-based arcana.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
so
yeah.
you know when not to do something, not when to do something.
Yes, which is important. One of the most powerful things you can do with magic is not use it.
Yes.
Or in
Okay.
Calcrix's case, it's like I'm casting a spell using jazz wings, so I can use my +6 charisma.
Yes.
Well, you do it through force of personality, so
Well,
the fact
well-
that jazz wings help.
Jazz wings is the is the visible attribute of that.
That's how jazz wings came a thing.
I built a
That's your-
bard that used his bardic abilities through interpretive dance.
Yes, and
And it was quite successful too, but people had to see me do it, otherwise they got no bonus.
one D&D now has a dance bard. Yes.
I've been doing it for years, so
Oh,
it was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So
But
what's my
it's-
favourite
but it's
version?
specifically subclasses as dance, and yeah, you can do things. And, yeah, I did one as an orc bard using dance as percussion,
I was
Okay.
gonna say that
Where-
sounds
Stomp.
just
doing the heavy boots.
Okay, so yes, you activate the portal. There, you hear the
Basically
hum
tap
of
dance
the
and heavy boots.
you hear the hum of the city as the portal starts to activate, and then you feel the heat of a active volcano come through the portal.
I concentrate because me and portals and the magic items I'm carrying don't
Count.
mix.
Except the fact that it's one of the dragon portals, and you do know they do allow things through.
Calcrix and eat resist pulling out mushrooms.
yeah.
The dragon
Okay.
portals are more powerful than most
Yeah.
people's portals, as long as
Yeah.
you're using it correctly.
Yes, but reflexive because
You're used to doing it.
I've been practicing a lot,
Yeah.
so I'm going to keep doing it.
Because not everything passes through extra-dimensional spaces.
Yeah, last time I teleported, my sword left a hole in the world.
Yeah, it's usually not a good.
And there are little holes all over the world where he's been practicing.
I'm going to have to, when I can do it, I'm going to go back and fix them all up.
And then
Yeah,
when
that
he,
sounds like something you should do.
and then later on, after he's learned how to fix them all up, at the next point he learns how to fix his fixes.
Yes, because the first ones are going to be just patches,
Good, good.
not actually closing the hole.
Okay. Okay, good.
Iteratively getting better.
Well,
That's
you,
right,
you
but-
first
but-
learn to break things, then you learn to patch them, then you learn to repair them, then you learn to stop it happening in the first place.
Yes.
And then someone goes back in time and changes everything, and you're wondering what the hell happened.
Yeah, all that practice and negated by somebody else.
Potentially
right.
even yourself.
Yes, that's actually that would
No,
be a
no,
good
it's
way to
all her
fix them.
fault.
That would
This is where my
well, I'd ask her to help.
but this is where my little graffiti to Uel comes in.
That's
because
true.
so Uel has something where you can comprehend any language you can read. So knowing this, I've now started graffitiing throughout time, little bits in different languages that no one else realistically should know how to read together, but he does. It's just like high level. Just to mess with him. This is something that future me is going to be doing, so we may or may not come across this.
She started doing this when she discovered that I could read languages that gods can't.
Yeah.
And the fact that now she has all this extra time to herself to think of ways to mess with people.
Especially now that I can't sleep. I got nothing better to do with my life.
Then pop through time and leave
My
graffiti to me on weird
somewhat
places.
potentially eternal life. I have nothing better to do. I at least know I have at least, 10,000 years or 40,000 years?
Well, you know that you're around 10,000 years in the future,
That's
but
what it is,
whether or
yes.
not you skip a point...
Different question.
Yeah, your personal duration over that 10,000 year period might
It's
be...
a different question. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Might be 100 years, might be 40,000.
Who knows?
Yeah. So you're leaving graffiti in weird-ass places. So we're going to go into some crypt somewhere
Yeah.
that hasn't been opened for 5,000 years.
Potentially since
And
the
she's
beginning.
alluding to what are these words?
On the roof
Yeah.
is a thing that I know only I can read because she wrote it in frickin' Nithian.
And she put it there when it was being built.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
is it something like gullible on the ceiling?
Well, easily, potentially.
What was that?
I can read
Yeah, or don't look up.
That's why I use a mix of languages that I know
Yeah.
only Llewellyn can understand the combination of.
So
Yeah.
you've also learned that
Yeah.
Dimitri in the Wednesday group has an amulet that reads all languages,
So you could leave some for him too.
made by Thanatos.
Oh.
Which means there's no language he can't read because he doesn't care about the other gods' restrictions.
That's
Plus
true.
it will allow him to read dead languages by definition.
To be fair, I haven't met Lonnie hasn't met Dimitri yet. She knows of Dimitri, but she hasn't met Dimitri yet.
Yeah.
So once Lonnie eventually does meet Dimitri, she absolutely will be leaving graffiti for him as well.
I still have to talk to him.
Dimitri doesn't use that amulet because he understands where it comes from.
Yeah.
He's still got it though, because he can't get rid of it.
Oh.
If he uses that amulet, something's gone seriously wrong, or there's something seriously interesting happening.
Though there is a PC in that group who is definitely using the amulet.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The PC, the other PCs definitely use it all the time.
To the point where if he takes it off, he won't understand language.
Oh. Oops.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Well, it absorbs his languages as it goes.
Yes.
The other reason Dimitri does not use it is
there
because he thinks of himself as a linguist amongst his other attributes in his humility that he would never describe to others.
And he actually learned from the Nithians how to speak Nithian.
Exactly.
Without going back in time.
No. Well, there are some in Yalarum.
He went to them in the Hollow World.
Yeah,
That's right. Dimitri avoids alarm like the plague.
Well, that's perfectly valid. What I find amusing is it's a place I can't go, but I've got a trade agreement with them.
Yep. Not just a trade agreement, a military agreement.
And a trade and a military agreement.
Yes. I thought I'd remind you of that one.
Yes. If they call me up, I'm going to be sending a letter back saying, yeah, fine, as long as I don't do it in Yalarum.
Don't worry, they will be calling.
Oh, yeah, quite probably.
Yes.
Everyone's going to be calling all their friends.
The Alarm Foreign Legion. I don't serve in Yalarum.
Okay, so yes.
So that makes me the Foreign Legion.
You have
Exactly.
You have the portal open. You believe it will be open for at least 10 minutes before it shuts.
Cool. So we get ourselves through. Fortunately, none of us presently have a mount to worry about.
Okay, so
Mind some of them.
which makes it easier.
Yes.
It's the friend he puts away until he needs it,
That's right.
Fair enough.
which is much better than the familiar people forget they have.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I got the familiar, but he's on my shoulder. Actually, that's the point. I've got a big owl on one shoulder, powerful owl, and I've got a little silver dragon on the other shoulder.
Okay, stepping through the portal, you find yourself going from a spring and a cool cavern to what feels like the middle of a desert in summer. as you realize that the actual academy is built inside a volcano.
Right.
You can see windows into where the lava shoots up out of the center of the volcano.
Now's the time to pull out the marshmallows and sticks.
Well, they quite easily start to burn as you pull them out.
Yeah, we're not going to hang them over the actual lava.
Well, you don't
Just gonna
need to.
Pull them out and eat them straight away.
Yeah. Oh, I can just see you.
Add the chocolate
Hold
to
on.
it. Let's make some s'mores.
No. Calcric-sized marshmallows. They're
Yeah.
this big.
They are Calcric-sized marshmallows.
Yeah.
You can't eat them
Hey,
otherwise.
it's much
Yeah.
better than
So we need
roasting marshmallows on the hair of another character who uses flaming hair.
Well, that's why we have
So Fire
marshmallows in
Genasi got
stock.
used as a... Yeah.
Every time she slept.
Poor bugger.
She...
Well, she was a paladin. It still is a paladin.
Kind of.
As long as she didn't wake up to melted marshmallow on her head,
It was
she put up
fine.
with it.
Right.
It only happened once or twice or 3 times.
That was Eep. That was totally
Yes.
Eep. In the meanwhile, Eep is pointing at me.
Mm-hmm. Eve, I don't believe you.
Okay, so yes, this place does look extremely impressive. From the dragons, you've heard that this is where a bunch of the really martial dragons learn their craft,
Mm-hmm.
because there is a pirate cove just down the mountain range that has quite good magical defenses that they would test their might on a weekly basis against. Basically, the ward would come up and they would just attack it with everything they've got until
Yes.
it collapsed.
Yeah, let's mess with pirates. It's always fun.
While the pirates would also come up with bigger and better defenses and different ways of defending
Hey.
things.
Makes it a great challenge.
And they have a mutual defense pact.
Yeah, anyone else attacks either of them, they both go for them.
And there is
Okay.
a gnomish sky city nearby on the same mountain range, but not near the volcano. Is also in the pact.
Okay.
And a goblin city for holiday makers.
A goblin city.
Yeah. On the lower side of the mountains where people can come and experience life in a goblin town.
So a tourist trap?
Yep.
Yes.
Literally a tourist trap. But they don't try to kill you, they just cost you lots of money.
Yes.
They don't rob you blind, everything's chargeable.
Yes. They don't need to do violence, which is great for them because goblins usually lose.
And quite intelligent goblins too.
Yes. You gods, I can just see the
Any
barb.
dragons here?
Looking around, there is
goblin.
just a single
Scary.
dragon here. He is quite large. You can see the light glinting off his ruby scales.
I will ruffle in my bag looking for a gift. It's an actual dragon. I need an actual gift. Can't just be a coin.
You can see that the dragon has what appears to be metallic spell books, and basically the pages are so big and large compared to everyone else's sort of thing that if it weren't metal, it would definitely break while she was turning it.
Okay.
The books are the size of a normal person's house.
That's cool. Now, those are some books to read.
Yeah. How did I get my hands on those books?
And you know that she is considered the headmaster of the academy here.
So,
See
large
if
spell.
it looks like it's okay.
What was that?
Calcrix will see if
make
it
it
looks
big
like
enough.
it's okay to approach.
Yes, she turns around as the portal closes and greets you in the welcome to the academy. It has a name, I just have to look it up. Like all things, I try not to remember every detail. Otherwise you would never leave one nation. Okay, it is the Mount Malukalai Academy.
Mount Malukakai. Okay. I'm gonna have trouble remembering.
So MAKAL. If you want to have the ALAUI.
So Makalai.
Pretty much, you know, I can never pronounce things that well.
Yeah. Look, why do I have to make words so? I don't know.
It should be like macaroni.
Sorry.
It should be like macaroni.
Makalui.
My brain has trouble turning words into.
And you can definitely tell you're way above most of the clouds here.
You should hear me try and say
You do see some writing on one of the walls noting that you are 10,000 feet above the surface.
Oh, that's a long way up.
Yeah, we're in Denver, Colorado. We're fine.
No, that's fair.
Did she give her name when she said welcome to the?
She just refers to herself as the headmistress. She doesn't use her name.
Catch your breath here. A little hard to breathe.
She welcomes you all to the academy. And she says she has heard of your studies.
Okay, does she sound mad?
No,
Okay, good.
just curious.
Okay.
As long as she doesn't sound mad, you're doing good.
Exactly.
She does ask, do you favor any element? A lot of the dragons pick an element to favor.
I haven't discovered which one is best for me yet.
But there's always time.
Are you a particular colour?
Green.
You don't have to say
Most greens generally
It's
favor acid or poison as a type, but they're not required to.
Yes. And you'll find different greens, so.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, look, Calgrix is proof you don't have to pick a colour.
No, well.
Whereas Drazzle has favored blue because he spends a lot of his power on time,
Yeah.
and blue and time go well together. Whereas green and life go well together.
I guess that is one thing. Most of the humanoids are typically a certain color.
Yes.
So even though Vani is human, she is blue because she's water aspected. So and
Just
time
like-
aspected.
And I think, Drachnum, are you green?
Because green is most associated with Earth.
He also has a lot of browns because green to brown is mainly earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, you're currently fire, but you can change it.
I'm 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like
Lual
you-
would have lots of reds in
Yeah.
some of the stuff he does, even though he can have a lot of blue as well.
Yeah.
He has some highlight red in what he appears and does.
Yeah. Yeah. So black hair with blue highlights, and there's red highlights at the tips, which you can't see in the picture. That
It's
sort of
the
thing.
thing that you can determine a lot of people's aspects by how they appear.
Yeah.
Though you can mask it.
Yes.
Okay.
But mine is going to go all one colour at some point. Focus my elementalist assignment.
Because most of the races find multi-elemental disciplines to be abhorrent. Whereas the Alphatian nation that's coming to annihilate everyone absolutely adores every element being used.
Yes.
Their
So
belief system is use all of them.
Yes. So people looking at me and going, "You're Alphatian," despite the fact I'm a high elf in elven gear.
There are high elves in
Yeah.
Alphatia.
Oh, I know.
But
But I'm wearing Alfheim style clothing most of the time. And they go, "Oh, you're Alphatian because you got 3 coloured hair." No, bugger off.
Yes, and they don't tell people because most general people only have one element.
Okay.
So it's for only advanced people who get to 6th level or higher have more than one element plus potential.
Yeah.
And if you have all 5 elements, because there are 5 main elements, you'd have to be at least level 20
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah, I was aiming at going for all 4, but it turns out it's much better for me to focus. So, I'm going to focus.
Well, hey, you could diplomatize with the Alphatians better with all 4.
True, but only then. Plus, well, it's much better for me to go
Is it the 5th one and
focus
keep
properly.
the rest of it? So.
Does the headmistress acknowledge Drachnoma as well?
She would acknowledge Calcrix and Drachnoma having not as much knowledge of Calcrix and Drachnoma, because neither of you had studied with people she knew.
That's fair to say. Calcrix will give respectful greetings to Headmistress and confess that she has long wanted to visit all the temples, but fire is one that she's been meaning to get to because she has a friend who is a fire genasi and has always made her interested in learning more about the aspects of fire element and while she likes gaining knowledge on every subject that she can possibly gain, she's interested in understanding the element in the sense of she's about to undertake some missions which will lead to her dealing with fire.
She does say that fire as an element is the least predictable.
I know. My friend is very unpredictable.
Most times when you release fire, it can leave your control completely.
I agree.
Whereas most other magic is directed and contained, fire likes to spread.
Yes.
Do you have advice about how to approach or accept that you do not have control over it once you release it?
Practice helps. Like all disciplines, the more time you put into it, the better you get at it. But choosing your battlefield when you're going to throw fire magic is very important, because dragons don't like to decimate an environment simply because we have the power to do so. Or we can live long enough to see it return to life. We have the ability to make sure life never returns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once you've scoured all life out of ground, it will not recover without intervention.
Yeah.
You sound like you have experience of such heavy responsibility.
Well, as her job as one of the great teachers of the dragons, she teaches the responsible use of fire, which is why she encourages her students to try their might against the pirates. Because
Sounds like a lot of fun.
well, they get to unleash as much as they can and then get to see how that affects things.
Yeah.
Alas, I only have a ring that allows me to breathe fire once a day.
But there are always many ways to learn.
We can do better than that.
And she does take you over to an observatory where you can actually see 10,000 feet below through some spyglasses
Oh,
what
wow.
looks to be a ruin on the edge of the ocean. Basically, there's a straight line between the dragon's citadel and the pirate base below.
So they
And
just drop. Pew!
basically, yes, they can do a single dive bomb directly towards it.
Nice.
That was
And surrounding it, you can see they have 5 big pillars, and each of those pillars are covered in runes.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are they
Defensive,
spell
I'm
runes?
presuming.
They are spell runes, she says, and they represent a balance between the elements.
Balance
Yeah.
between the elements is an essential part of all things in life.
Each pillar has 5 runes, and and the 5 pillars together represents their protectiveness. And when all of them are active, they can repel most attacks.
Oh, I see. Yep.
They can choose to only stop fire, only stop cold, only stop an element, but to stop everything at once requires far more effort than most mages can do.
Sounds like very powerful magic indeed.
Yes.
So it's part of their training, as some of the pirates are dragons in human form.
Right.
As they're literally attacking their friends.
Yeah, they're practicing
So-
attacking each other.
Yeah.
And defending against dragons too, which is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So they're learning to attack with their abilities and defend against their abilities.
Yep.
Sounds like I could really benefit from undertaking lessons here. It is a shame that at the moment my life is taken up by missions.
Other responsibilities.
You can work out some way of using downtime and spend time here.
Yeah, she plans to, but
During the summer semester.
Yes.
Calcrix has just finished balancing the elements amongst the tribal titans.
Yeah.
And
Now you've got military training to get.
And having learned that there's a 6th element in the world that most people don't access.
yeah, so she was the one who got to handle the 6th element. Plus, when her fire genasi friend became uncontrollable as she let loose, Calcrix also ended up with the fire element and the entropy element. And she's like, I don't know how I'm going to balance this, but
You
I
don't.
have to.
You wear it.
So, yeah. She
And she does talk about the law of learning how to defend oneself compared to just attacking.
I will take copious mental notes, if not actual physical notes that I'll write down later.
And as such, they have also enchanted many of the pirate ships out of the cove.
Oh. Cool.
So they are far more advanced in magic than they would normally be. Which is why they have an agreement to supplement the Arendi Navy should they ever get in trouble.
And they won't let us have one. Maybe you could talk into this. But you're more likely to get.
Lani
the
does
radio.
know that they have teleportation circles on the boats that still work, even while moving.
Don't suppose she knows anything about this
That's one of those
Arendi
fun
digging up
secrets.
hidden relics of
Yeah.
the Mackay.
This is, I was gonna say that's one of the ones on this special boats, which you guys got to go on the special boats.
Yes.
They don't tell you everything that the special boats can do.
Which is why when they say that the Mackay stuff work with time, they literally can move portals through time and use them.
Secrets. So,
But hey, that's how each race is unique. And they do say that the gnomes of Mount Kuna Nomura are looking to connect with Mount Dread and create a path between the two.
Can you spell?
Kununurroa.
Kunumuroa.
So that's 2 N's in there, no M.
So what is it? Two
K.
M's.
Kununurroa.
Calcrix just puts a talon up, tears a piece of paper out of their journal, writes a note, gives it to Drazzle. Please make sure that this gets to Grindelwald, please. And Calcrix says, back to Headmistress, I have sent on a message to Grindelwald of Mount Dread to get in contact with the gnomes of Cuneo.
That place.
That word.
Mm.
Yeah. Bad pronunciation. I catched it from him. I say I was fine until he started.
And she does say that many of the half races that exist in the world can be found in the village below that mountain.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
It's a place where the accursed seem to find themselves at home.
Oh, okay.
In the other gnomish place.
The village below it.
Oh, the village below this place.
The village below the other place.
The other place.
Yes.
Okay.
Not the other place, but the village below the other place.
Yeah.
Mata
Strangely enough, there's a bunch of.
Akai.
So what are they?
Mata
called?
Akai.
All the big words.
Well, they like to throw all these letters in there. It's like they just pick up a bunch of things and throw them and go, that looks
A
good.
lot of this
Yeah,
just sounds like
that's
letters thrown together, honestly.
To be honest, they are.
All words are letters thrown together.
Aha!
But thrown together randomly and then kept, that's a different thing.
That sounds like a good name. We'll keep that one.
Caltrix will say, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I founded Mount Dread, and I also founded a refuge there for half races. And I've just sent a message on to the gnome that manages my land to get in contact with those gnomes and
Well, they have already heard of that refuge. And I believe they were looking at, once they got the gnomish flying city back into the air, that they would add that as one of their main stops. Because, hey,
most welcome.
a city floating around on a giant engine, of course, has to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Caltrix is like thinking of their giant city as a little bit like a Roomba, and her as a little bit like a cat.
Sometimes you sit on top of it.
She's gonna sit somewhere on it while it goes around in circles.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any information she's able to give us about the Erendi artifacts stuff?
Oh, she has studied them in detail over her lifespan.
Which means she knows everything.
And then she just shudders.
Yeah.
They're definitely designed to confuse and distract the enemies of the people.
Yes.
They will move you through time and space, and literally allow you to undo any civilization attacking you.
Yeah.
But of course, you may never live to see the outcome.
Yes. Or you may never have lived, even though the outcome is what you're after.
Pretty much. Mess with time, and it messes back.
Yeah.
We don't teach time travel here.
No, which is a good point, actually. If you do something like that, you're just not coming back. Your existence is what pays for it.
To know if there's such dangerous things, do you know why they're looking to dig these artifacts up? They sound really dangerous and not like something, you know, why would you want to end civilization?
Because great dictators have destroyed the world when they haven't.
I can't have it, you can't have it either.
And people who run rampant uncontrolled can cause more damage than the cost of a civilization.
You know, if I were to say find such an artifact, I wouldn't want it for myself. I would want to hide it in a way that others could not find it. Do you have that kind of knowledge that would help with such a thing?
Just trying to turn the fan a bit lower.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, but you could turn it off this time of day. It shouldn't be getting hotter.
No, it won't.
And it's gotten down to 18, which is enough for me. I was just overheating at 20.
So I was watching Kesley shiver.
Oh no, it's more I'm 9% energy.
Okay, so yes, she does say that if you do come across one, she doesn't recommend messing with it.
Oh no, I don't want to miss it. I just want to make sure no one else finds it.
Yes, these things have a way of being found.
Don't touch the big shiny button.
Basically, the descendants of those who created it can always find it.
Right.
It's like a homing beacon.
So is one always in a cycle of re-hiding these things?
They are the ones who hide it until they're told to use it. Normally by one of their descendants. Someone has travelled back in time and told them they need to use it because time won't happen if they don't.
Come with me if you want to live. Okay.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if I can figure out, with...
But one person's end of the world is another person's saving grace.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
Well, with
And then
the
the cost of paying
Orendi,
afterwards.
like, so, Redrune's like, the Orendi are digging up hidden relics, etc.
Oh, Kesley.
The mission in terms of that, is that to
Have a look.
just find out who, what, and why, or is that to...
Potentially to find out what relics they're digging up and why.
Yeah.
Because if they're just digging up all the relics, that's worse than just digging up certain relics.
Okay, alright.
Yes, because at that point they've got ones they might end up getting together when they shouldn't be.
Okay, so, it might be, more just an information gathering mission rather than a prevention mission.
I was gonna say, Redrun to me didn't sound very concerned by this information.
Well, lack of information is worse than rumors.
Yeah. So we'll definitely we'll just stop it and be like, yo, what the heck? Before moving on.
I
But a
don't
little bit
really
more
recommend
diplomatic.
Do that.
Just be like,
Yes.
hey, how's it going? What's new?
Well, considering the map that you guys are putting together is considered one of those relics.
Is it?
Yeah, particularly once we get all 5 bits.
Yep. We
How-
have three of
And you can already see from previous uses of it that it does mess with time.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So that's something we need to be careful about. Do we want to put it together?
No, we don't want to yet.
No,
We were told, do not put it together until you have all the pieces, and even then.
Do you have an ancestor that's a Randy?
But I am Makai, so this is
So
Yeah.
this is my peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of your relics that we're digging up.
Yeah, but part of the thing the reason we're getting all the bits of this is to make sure nobody else gets it.
Yeah,
Oh,
irony is not lost on me.
Which
Yeah.
means then making sure that they can't take it off us.
Yeah.
So,
So like that's why we're just gonna be like, hey, what you up to? Okay, cool. Writing that down, going on.
And you know Drizzle has put you in the right place at the right time multiple times.
Yeah, he has a habit of doing that.
that's his job.
And they still haven't been sorted out.
Yes.
He's better at navigating the timelines than I am.
Mm.
I'm still barely learning. I've just started.
Well, he got stuck back at the beginning of time, so he had a long time to figure it out.
So, oops.
Gonna give you like all of time to figure it out. Does
Well,
anyone else have
That was when he changed Llewell's sword.
Yeah.
questions for the headmistress?
So that was way more than just like 5,000 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't at this stage.
Yes.
Aside from wanting to come back
That's
and learn
my sword
now
is another thing
and
I can't
read
afford to
all
get out
the
the shopping.
books. I will go so far as
Too
to
many
say,
secrets.
what are those books that you're reading?
Oh, she says these are report on the planes and the comings and goings of various entities.
To mention to what's next to this, I want to read it.
No.
Calcrix feels like this is a bit above her level right now.
And she discusses how she is keeping track of much that is happening, connecting to the plane of fire to here.
Oh, okay.
Her job is to keep the balance and stop fire from becoming dominant in this world.
Yeah.
Which is why each of the temples is based around an element.
Yeah.
Each of the headmasters is responsible for keeping the elements balanced. Even though most of the headmasters are now dealing with the Council of Dragons, the fire element is trying to take dominance in this world, so she can't afford to play with the council. She's told them to bugger off.
I told them to bugger off too, but that's because I decided I wanted to try and save this world
Well,
instead of get involved in a war.
well, she believes every person should choose for themselves. Though apparently she says, looking at Director Me, many have chosen for you.
But if I have faith in the ones who've chosen, I'm sure they've chosen right.
She sighs, yes, it would be nice to have faith. She's talked to many of the gods,
Calcrix hands her a cookie.
and then sighs again. She enjoys the cookie. It's not very big for her, but she still enjoys it.
You know, she can cast like double and large on it. She
And
says-
as we are approaching 11 o'clock, I will say
Yeah,
we'll wrap up
Gonna
with
say, just
you.
a quick thing. She asks the headmistress if she can perform a tea or coffee ceremony for her.
She is more than happy to.
She will do that to say thank you, and as a gift for the information and knowledge that she's imparted.
She happily puts you up for the night before sending you on your way down to Orendi City,
Thank you.
where next session you will arrive. And then have to deal with the King and Queen of Orendi.
We want to talk to the queen. The king is a himbo. The queen's the one who's in charge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
And also, so, yeah.
Well, the King and Queen are not hereditary titles. You have to earn them in the arena.
It's like earning.
And the
head
King and
blood.
Queen are not married.
Yeah, they're,
Yes.
how does
It's-
a himbo win a title like that?
because it's whoever's
because-
strongest.
Because
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And he has the muscles.
yeah.
He's just
Lonnie-
Mr. Muscle.
Lonnie is destined to eventually become king and queen at different times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
The
it does.
different
It's not
contexts.
a.
You choose
gendered-
which one you want to go for, and each one has different responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a gendered title. It's just.
And
a,
so far, the Queen's doing both the King and the Queen's titles.
Yes.
Yeah, because she's the only one that knows how to do anything.
Oh yeah. Lonnie's
Himbo is a
got
bit too much of a himbo.
Well,
Yeah.
he's doing all the social things that she doesn't have time to do because she's doing his job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's doing the I've got charisma and muscles.
So I think he dumped everything except strength and charisma.
Yep.
That's a full-time job though.
Yep.
Yeah. It is a full-time job.
And he's kissing all the babies.
And the babes.
Babies need kissing. If you withhold
Wait,
love from
he's happy to
children
kiss
when they're
everyone.
young,
Yeah.
He's an equal opportunity kisser.
Yes. Oh, that's fair.
So, unless people want to add anything, I will put it on end credits.
Oh, that's fine.
Or
Yes.
we'll close with end credits with a flashback of Eve eating very large-sized mosquitoes, so that the party, while camped in the Isle of Dread, don't get inundated with them.
Fair.
Except they'll be sleeping to the sound of crunching insects of large size.
Which is better than being bitten by them, so I'll go with that.